You seem to still be up there somewhere.
Maybe I am. There are flying saucers.
Supposing they're Martians or something in there.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Weird Wednesday. I'm itsasherz and this is
Cassie.
Cassie, welcome back.
Thanks.
And happy Halloween.
Yes, soon. It's coming.
It's coming. Or as we say in my house, happy Halloweener.
I like that better.
Yeah, Halloween.
It might be celebrated here if I say it like that.
Like get a little more reach,
right?
in your household there. How was your weekend? You did a show, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a 2-day show. So let's see. Friday, I went to work. And then I drove up to the show because I volunteered to help tape off the booth sections because I live close. So I did that, and that was like 600-700 times of bending over and putting tape on the ground, which I didn't think it was going to be that bad until I started doing it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Wow.
Like, oh shit, that's right. I'm old. I forgot.
Yeah. I was in a car accident. Like, this isn't fun anymore. Oh, no. But I felt bad because the people that were there doing the thing were older than me. So I'm like, okay, suck it up. Yeah, then Saturday was the show. So I was there from 7:30 in the morning until, like 9 o'clock at night. It was pretty slow. It wasn't that interesting because where it was, there was 2 other craft shows going on in town. Traffic was not like the best for that show. And then Sunday was the second day of the show, which was slower, like every Sunday usually is at a show. And pulled all the tape up after I was done and came home, but managed to lay down and watch the new episode of Project Fear from the Haunted Hotels series that they're doing for Halloween. And yeah, went to work today and just started it all over again. Like, yeah, I do interesting stuff, but when it's show weekend, I can't really, there's not much to talk about.
Yeah, it just depends on if something cool happens while you're there. You know?
Right. There was mermaids. So there was mermaids at the show, and they were set up right next to me. So that was cool. They definitely didn't get up and walk around. But the second day, the girl that was dressed as the pirate for the mermaids, she put them on the dolly and rolled them around the place so they could get out and like go around and stuff. And there was a booth there that had they had taxidermy animals, but it wasn't like the frogs or the mice that you see like on all the oddities booths that people have. It was like parrots and macaws and full-size calves. And it was pretty cool.
Wow.
Like walking around and looking at everybody's stuff was cool, but I don't know. I've noticed this year, like the farther that we get into the year, the more groups of people are walking out of places buying nothing.
Yeah.
Which I get. We're all broke.
It's been tough out there being a vendor. Lately, it's ouch. I mean, God, I feel like right after the pandemic was a lot eeasier.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. Everybody had those $5,000 checks in their account. Like.
And they've been locked inside, itching to spend it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, and right now it's been rough. Well, and October events are hard because unless you have a really, really well-established event, there's just so many that happen every year. I used to talk at this library events in Ravenswood, West Virginia, and the first year. It was amazing. I mean, it was a ton of people and, they do a little, it's a family friendly little event, but tons of folks showed up. And it was like one of the best shows I'd done all year. I'm like, this is great. So then the following year, I'm like, of course I'll come back. Oh yeah. And literally nobody, I don't think I made a sale the whole day.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, and it was just, in talking to different, because there was different food trucks and other vendors and stuff. There was like another, local event, some pumpkin festival or something that, happened in the same time. They're like, yeah, everybody's probably there. And I'm like, ugh.
Well, like I made money, but I made the same amount of money at this 2-day show that I would make at one of my 1-day shows.
Yeah, depending on what it is. Well, it's so close to home, though. It's hard to say no.
Exactly. Like, I'm not complaining. I'll do it again. It was kind of expensive, but, I made that money back. Plus, I made some extra money, so.
What is that place? It happens at a place called Odd Mall.
Yeah, Odd Mall. It's not a place per se. It's just the event, and they have like 10 to 12 events during the year, and they're all at different places.
Okay, that makes a little, because I know I've seen it before.
Right.
But I thought maybe it was like a place.
No, it's not a place. I know Jeff, I think Map in Blacks, Jeff, he did the Christmas Hana Kwanzaa one year, a couple years back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a Christmas Hana Kwanzaa show coming up. I think that's the next one they have. And it's in Strongsville. But it's on my kid's birthday, and they turned 16. So I don't think I'm going to venture out for that one.
Yeah, that's a tough
And it's a week
one.
after Krampusnacht in Erie. And I can't promise you what I'm going to have left after Krampusnacht in Erie.
Fair. That's fair. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that is a well-established event. Like, it's going
Right.
to do well. So if another thing popped up that same weekend, like, obviously you're going to choose to go to that one. you
Right.
know?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because
Plus, I would never not do a Carrie event.
yeah. Well, she's too precious.
Right?
Um, well, that sounds exciting. I'm glad that you had a decent show.
Yeah, just exhausted now. It takes, when you have to like pack up your car, unpack your car, set it all up, and then pack your car back up and unpack it when you get home, like all by yourself. Like, it's a lot. My shoulders are killing me.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot of shit too.
Yeah, I got a lot.
You
And plus,
do.
like, since I help, he tripled the size of my booth. So I had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you always bring a lot. I know. I love how you do the pre-setup at home. Like, that's, I think that's so wholesome. I mean, it makes sense. I don't ever have to worry about anything like that because I suck and can't make anything with my hands. I can only make it with my brain. But I don't know. I find that that's wholesome. I like your little pre-setup that you do.
I like it. I can't do it right now because it's too cold for me out there.
You need a little space, a little heated space.
Like right now, I'm sitting in my kid's bedroom because it's the only quiet place in the house. Is they're not here during the week. So, and I had to put on a pair of sweatpants over my leggings and another sweatshirt over my long sleeve shirt just to record.
Oh my God, turn the freaking heat on.
No, Brandon doesn't because he's
Oh
like
my God.
sweating his butt off downstairs right now, and he refuses to turn the heater up anymore.
Well, you just need to get your little space heater you take around with you to the different rooms.
He's got it downstairs because he keeps it for me down there so he can keep the fan on.
Oh my God. Men. Anyway, I had a decent weekend. I did, we did more Huber Hots,
Okay.
of course. This was pretty much the last weekend that I'll have available to do it. So, we went and saw some more spooky houses. They were great. It was fantastic. And then I did my annual Halloween party that I do
Yes,
every
this
year.
is what I want to hear about.
Of course, we all got, we got together. People showed up. We had our annual satanic orgy.
Oh, wow.
We sacrificed some babies.
Okay.
It was good. And then we had another orgy again. Because when you're covered in sacrificial baby blood, you just get real horny, and so that's what you do.
Sounds like a movie.
No, it was very tame this year. Actually, I put a big emphasis. I do this Halloween party every single year, and every year I'm like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to do it this year. Nobody's going to show up.
I know. Every year you say that.
Every year I say it, and I have. I've been living on my own since I was 18. I have said it every year since then. But I like the fact that I do it because nobody else does anymore. It's just not
Right.
It's kind of starting to be a thing of the past, and so I'm glad that I do continue to do it. And this year I really wanted to put an emphasis on like nostalgic Halloween. So I did little Halloween goodie bags, and they were People loved them. They were great. They weren't anything crazy or expensive. You got your usual spider rings. Everybody got a beaded necklace, and I did tumblers, but everybody got a cup. So that was the pricier part, I guess.
Right.
Little stupid shit. I got this little fortune telling fish. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You put on your palm of your hand. I love
Yeah.
those things. And everybody did too. But yeah, a good chunk of change showed up. It's funny because this one couple showed up, and I've only ever met them one time, and I met them because the guy, the husband of the couple, he started following me on Facebook or something. I think he listens to the show. I'm not sure if he does. Shout out to Tommy,
And this is about you.
right. This is exactly about you. But he shows up, and him and his wife are the first people to show up to the party, and I was actually really surprised by that because normally, when I say the party's at 8:00, people don't really show up till like 10.
Right.
So, which is fine. It gives me plenty of time to be prepared. But they showed up before 8, which is okay. And so we had time to kind of
They're like responsible adults.
They were, right. They were like real adults. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. But they showed up and they were like, oh, well, who all do you think is coming? And I'm like, I really don't know. And it's really interesting because every year when I have my Halloween party, it's never like my actual friends that show up.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's usually people that I kind of barely know or have only met once or twice or, just like super loose acquaintances that end up showing up. So it always ends up being a really interesting, mix of people because like, my best friend doesn't go. Anne wasn't there. I don't know. I didn't hear anything from her. My actual friends or, what I thought were my actual friends, they don't usually show up. So some of them did though this time. And, some of them do, I'm not going to say none of them do, but some of them do.
I am your friend, but I had stuff going on before I even knew about the Halloween party, okay?
Well, now you know, right. And so you got a plan for next year. You got to be here at the Halloween party.
Right.
So it's like I said, it's always interesting. I cut back a little this year on who I would let come. Because normally I'm like, oh, just anybody and everybody. If you don't have anywhere to be, you got nothing else going on for Halloween, come to my house and hang out. But I have to stop doing that now that I'm somebody on the internet. I can't just invite strangers to my home. You know what I mean? It gets weird. And I've had instances where the last 2 parties that I've had, which was my birthday, I have one for my birthday every year, and then I have a Halloween party.
Yeah.
And my birthday party and the Halloween party last year, somebody weird showed up, and my actual friends had to like stay and wait them out because they were trying to stay. And I'm like,
was it the same person or 2 different people?
It was the same person. Yeah, that's
and they are definitely listening to the show, and they definitely know who they are.
You know who you are. I mean, they invited themselves. So that happened with the Halloween party last year.
You can't invite yourself when you make it an open invitation.
Well, no. So it happened Halloween last year, and it was too weird. Usually everybody's pretty cool, and they do what they're supposed to do. And even the strangers, right? They're good strangers. And so the Halloween party happens. They overstay their welcome. And then so I have my birthday party this year, and it had freaked me out so much that I'm like, I'm only inviting like my close friends. Like, only people that I know, only people that already have my address, right? If you don't have my address, sorry. And they still fucking showed up to my birthday party.
Because they have your address. They were there.
Because they have my address. And I'm like, oh no. So it got weird. So I was still pulling it back a little bit, this year. So there were some people that messaged me. They're like, hey, I want to come to your party. And it's like, I don't know who you are. Sorry. No, thank you.
So was your daughter there for this?
So she had the option to be here for it.
Okay.
Normally I don't have her here during my parties, because I like to drink and party, and sometimes take my clothes off at these things. But she is 13, right? Normally when she's home anyway, she's in her room. Okay.
Yeah.
And I figured, if there's a 13-year-old there, everybody's going to act correctly. Right.
Right.
So she had the option to come and hang out at the party. She did not want to. She chose instead to go stay. Well, initially she was supposed to go stay the night at a friend's house, at her friend's house. But then very last minute did not want to, because she's a 13-year-old girl, and 13-year-old girls have girl problems, and she was having girl problems.
Gotcha.
And so it was like a whole big fucking mess. Cause I'm like, okay, well then the parent probably doesn't want to stay up until the party's over to bring you home.
Right.
Why don't you just go hang out for a few, and then the parent will come and pick, because I still want to drink.
Mhm.
And I drink, but I don't get super drunk anymore. I'm too old for that shit.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to go driving afterwards. I'm not a drinker and driver. And so I'm like, the parent can come drop you off whenever. And she like lost her shit. And she's like, I'm not coming home in the middle of a bunch of drunken adults at the party. So I did not drink at all at my own party.
Wow.
Yeah. So that I could go pick her up when it was over. This is honestly, I think, the most responsible party I've ever had in my entire life. So.
Well, but see, you remember all of it.
I do.
You probably have pictures of the satanic baby orgy.
I don't. I hear there's a video somewhere on Patreon.com.
The hard drive got lost.
Yeah, the hard drive got lost. Someone stole it. So anyway, like I said, it was pretty tame, but it was fun. I still had fun. I had other things in mind that I wanted to do, little games and stuff, but I just, I didn't quite get to them. But the reason why I didn't get to them was because everybody was socializing, and that was good.
Yeah, that's always good.
So it's like, fine, I'll just save it for next year. We had a costume contest. The winner of the costume contest, my friend B, who was a TNR kitty girl.
Okay.
And it works because B is B's trans, and so the costume, there's like a little one of those Spirit Halloween costume things, which it's not a legit Spirit Halloween costume, but the thing on it is like it has no uterus.
Okay.
Nobody wants it, right? Trapping.
Yeah, I got you.
So it was super cool, and I love that B is becoming themselves, and I thought that maybe on top of the costume being fun, I thought it embodied Halloween, right? It was silly, it was sexy, I loved it. So they were dubbed the winner of this year's costume contest, and I was Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, I saw those pictures. That was cool.
And it's the only pictures I took of the whole fucking night. And it was after the party, because
you're just like, event or not, you're just bad at taking pictures at any event. Like
all of them. Yeah. I'm so bad at taking pictures of anything. And now I'm like, when I got to dress up in the Seymour costume and do like proper pictures at some
Do you have a ring cam?
Yeah. Well,
dude, you have pictures of everybody then.
I don't have a ring cam. No, I don't have a ring cam. I need one. That's a good point.
Even if it's just for your Halloween parties to get pictures of people's costumes.
I know, right? There is a group photo floating around somewhere out there. Nobody sent it to me yet, so I don't know. But it was a good time. But you know what? I had a great idea. And then I'm going to shut the fuck up and we'll move on to this week's topic, because I know you guys want to get into it. I know a lot of you have never heard the show before a day in your life, and that's okay. Skip another 10 minutes ahead and we'll be there. So I have a great idea.
People that have seen the show are like, that's what you think.
They're like, better make it 45.
Right.
But I have a great idea. I'm going to start doing... listen to this. Adult show and tell.
Okay.
And that sounds sexy. And I mean, it could be. But legit. Let's get together as adults and fucking bring something cool that you own. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. I have people come to my house, right? I've always been the house. I haven't been in recent years. So now I need to make a reason for people to come, be at my house again. But even, all these years with... all these people coming to my house, I own all this really cool stuff, and nobody's ever like, tell me about this thing that you own, right? People don't look at my stuff. I do. I go to people's house and my ass is fucking nosy, and I'll be going through your junk drawer. Like, what is this thing in your junk drawer? What is this? They don't even know, But I want to hear about all their stuff and like what makes them them. So I thought it'd be really cool if we got together and maybe I was thinking maybe monthly or maybe annually or something on some type of regular basis. And we all did adult show and tell, and we brought something that, we love and we want to talk about and show everybody. And I was like talking about this at the Halloween party because it was just something that I had thought of doing a couple days before. And everybody's on board. Everybody's like, that's a fucking fantastic idea. I'm like, I know, right? Right?
Heck yeah.
Why don't we do that as adults? We can. we're adults. We can do whatever we want to do.
Right?
Nobody, the fucking adult police are going to come in and be like, you can't do show and tell, you know? So I'm going to do that. And then I say I'm going to do this every year. And then I don't. I'm going to have a Christmas party, holiday party.
Yeah, you do say that too.
And I never do it. But this is the year. I feel it in my bones.
But now that like Spirit Halloween has Spirit Christmas stores, you could get some cool decorations.
Do they have any in Ohio?
Yes, they have one in Parma.
Is it open right now?
It says it is.
What?
Let me look it up. Let me just
take a road trip. Right. I gotta go to the Spirit. I gotta buy a new Christmas tree this year. I stomped ours to death last year. I wish that was a fake story. It's not. It broke my bag trying to have a tree bag. And
North Canton and Mentor. They're both open.
That sounds so far away.
Mentor's probably super far for you. North Canton's by me, so that's like far.
So far, yeah. Maybe I'll look in Indiana or Kentucky or Michigan. See if they got one on the border.
Near Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, because that's like the opposite side of me.
Let's see. They have one in... Well, that sucks. Like, I put in Spirit Christmas and Spirit Halloweens are popping up after the two near me.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
I'll find one. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, there was one in Erie last year. I think that was their practice store. They had it in Erie, and I guess it did good.
Wow. I feel like there used to be a Christmas store close to me, but maybe I'm thinking of Foy's. Maybe they did a Christmas thing, and maybe they don't now, or maybe they do. I don't know. Either way.
I live in Amish country. I hate freaking Christmas season. That's what everything is. Everything.
Christmas? Oh, I'm a holiday girly. I have a fucking, donut day party if it means I get to get people together and host.
Yeah. It says there's 30 Spirit Christmas stores this year.
Huh.
Across the Northeast. So, this says there's a list where, Illinois, Indiana, there's one in Fort Wayne and one in Merrillville.
Okay, Fort Wayne's
Kentucky,
not too
there's
far.
one in Lexington.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad either. I'm pretty sure it's closer than North Canton.
Yeah, it probably is. Wow. Yeah, that's it. That's it though.
I'll have to take a road trip and go check that shit out. We'll see.
So, let's dig farther into this. Dayton, Ohio.
I have a full-sized Santa Claus. Well, he's not full-sized anymore.
Why?
I only have half of him now. It was my grandma's, and it was a full-size Santa animatronic.
Okay.
And his legs broke. And so I only have his top half now. And so every year I'm like, oh, I'm going to make him a chimney out of just like a cardboard box. I can do that. I can't draw a stick.
You could do Silent Night, Deadly Night.
You're right. With the Santa.
Lexington's 2 hours and 4 minutes from you, just so you know.
Yeah, the day trip. Easily. So easy. But yeah, I don't know. Eventually I'll do something with him. Apartment life is hard, but it's funny because he's in my bedroom closet. Because again, I'm in an apartment. And he's on like the top shelf. And so if anybody, he's scared the shit out of like the maintenance men or random people I bring home or.
Right. Oh yeah.
Like in Santa Claus in my closet. Anyway. Let's get on to the topic. This will be...
Wait.
Oh, okay.
One news.
Oh, you got a news. I'm sorry. I didn't have any news this week. So
Well, I heard about this earlier today, but like I don't have like a big story about it. But someone has bought the Conjuring house that they will not announce yet because it was supposed to be auctioned off on Halloween, but somebody privately bought it. But they won't tell us who yet.
Yeah, we'll talk about it for a second. Sure.
I don't have anything else though. Do you have more on that?
A little bit, just because I've seen that guy. Who's that guy? Jason
Hawes?
Jason Haas he started a GoFundMe because he wanted to purchase it in the auction.
Yes, and then he canceled it all of a sudden, or paused it.
Well, no, he's still taking money on the GoFundMe.
It says he paused it earlier today.
Oh, earlier today. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
if it just happened today.
Did he buy it?
No, he's not the one that bought it. We know, but there's been like back and forth rumors about how, the buyer has only bought the debt.
It says here that mystery buyer paid off the mortgage. It says
I don't know.
The auction was canceled because the previous owner, Jacqueline Nunez, sold the house privately to a mystery buyer who paid off the mortgage.
So the idea that people think is what's going to happen is that it's going to go on the market for real.
Oh.
So this was like an investment purchase. Maybe not necessarily by an individual. It could have been an individual. It maybe could have been by a company.
Mm-hmm.
That, it cost them less money, or they would still turn a profit because it's a Conjuring house to pay off her debt and then, buy it. They probably bought it. I don't know if she made anything or not, but they probably bought it at cost.
Right.
Basically. And then they can turn around and put whatever fucking price tag they want on it. And somebody will either buy it or they won't. And they will, because it's the Conjuring house.
Of course they will. Matt Rife wants that so bad.
You know he does.
Oh yeah, he was the other person in a different group that was in the auction for it.
And he's got the money to just buy it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He don't have to crowdfund anything.
Mm-hmm.
But now, Jason Hawes wants it, obviously. Well, who doesn't? I would take it. I don't think it's haunted at all, but I would take it,
Right. It's haunted by, wow, what are those things called? Not the Tulpa, but the egregores.
Oh, yeah. Right. The egregores of the investigators before.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Conjuring house is there's some people that are like, oh, you don't want to, because of the movies, right? They sensationalize it quite a bit. The history from the films and just what the Warrens talked about, none of that was ever real. And we know that just on public record and history. It doesn't mean that the house itself isn't haunted. I don't know.
Well, not to the extent that the movies take it to, at least.
No, that would be... Well, and, that's basically what I said about it. If it were really something, it would have been bought by a bunch of scientists.
Right.
I mean, that's just the way it is. If it was something that we could replicate and we could study, then it would be bought by people who could do so. Bigelow would have bought that shit.
Right.
And he didn't. So here we are. And he has the money to, more than any of the other motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it is... It's interesting. We'll see what happens with it. I'm interested to know who bought it and if it is, if it does go on the market, because I feel like during this show's run, it was that woman bought it.
Right. Yeah. I know it hasn't been that long. I don't think
she didn't have it for very long.
But like I would freaking buy it if that means like Patrick Wilson's going to come over and do investigations. Like
that'd be cool with his clothes off.
I mean, that too. I mean, I don't even care.
You got to take your clothes off. The demons don't like that. I'm going to start doing that to people when they come over.
Right? Go ahead. May 2022, she bought it.
Yeah, so it wasn't that long. But then, there was a bunch of drama with her and all those, her workers. And so I don't really remember the drama much, but I remember there was a bunch of drama.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was like maybe somebody else was like faking haunting stuff there.
Well, I think that had a lot to do with Jason Hawes's kid too, didn't it?
I have no idea.
With like they hold each other's hands and do like the tapping noises throughout the alphabet and stuff.
They do like the things with the toes. I remember
Yeah,
that. Something about
yeah.
toes. And I'm like, I'm not a feet person, y'all. I'm checking out.
I just know that there's like a bunch of shows like trying to prove that is false.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, it is what it is. It's always going to be the Conjuring house, whether there's activity there or not. There's always going to be people that believe that they walk in there and they feel stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they know things, right? They're getting premonitions, and it doesn't matter. But you can pretty much make any house the Conjuring house if you wanted to. You just start telling
Oh
people it's
yeah,
haunted.
exactly. Like
You
my
guys should
house
do
is
that.
haunted, but it's not like haunted like that crap.
No, you should do that with the rental.
Oh shit.
You could make a famous haunted house. Just make some shit up. People do it all the time.
I'd probably get a lot more for the rent too.
Yeah. You charge admission. You just have people stay there like an Airbnb, haunted Airbnb.
Oh,
Just
I bet you.
saying.
Oh, I could probably make a killing off that, especially once I hide the skeleton in the wall.
Exactly.
That's a good idea.
I'm just saying. You could do it. Because that's pretty much what all these places do.
Right, exactly.
If they're charging you to stay there, chances are it's bullshit.
Heck yeah.
Genuine people with genuine haunted houses, usually they're begging to get rid of it. They're
Yeah,
begging someone to come stay there to prove that they're not fucking crazy.
that's
I don't
like
know.
that's why I believe the Sally house is haunted.
I want to go. I want to go to all the haunted houses. I'm, totally down to do it. And see what happens.
Right.
Just let's
I
see.
mean, some part of me wants to, and another part of me is like, nope, I don't want to. Because if something does happen, I don't want to bring that home with me.
That's
And
plain
that's
and
the only
safe.
reason, like, I believe in Ouija boards, but I don't believe in Ouija boards, but I believe enough in Ouija boards that I don't want to try one.
That was my one of my costume contest prizes was a Ouija board.
Oh, okay.
I gave one gave one away as a prize.
Awesome.
And I'm like, I thought about busting, because I got a couple, I thought about busting them out. I still haven't used the one that I got for free, with the weird note in it.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't use that one.
I'm dying to use it, but there were people at the party that weren't comfortable with it. And I respect that, listen, if I go out there and I get myself possessed or whatever because I'm a bitch to the ghosts, then that's my own fault, I don't need to drag
Right.
anybody else into my negativity,
Mm-hmm.
so
No, I get it.
that's
And that's where I believe enough to where I don't even want to test it.
that's okay. You're
But I
allowed.
don't believe at the same time. So it's like I'm skeptic, but I believe enough where I don't want to even test anything out.
Good enough for me. I get it. That's probably why I put off CE5 a lot,
Right.
because yeah, well, not necessarily because I don't I definitely believe there are aliens, but it's because I believe in them so much that I don't want to be abducted by them.
Right. I get it. I completely get it.
That doesn't sound like a good time.
No.
So I don't want to draw attention to that, oddly enough. I mean, I could probably quit my day job, right? If I was able to capture all that on film or whatever, but, is it worth my sanity? I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah, probably not. Like I already have bad luck per se when it comes to like life stuff, so I don't really want to add demons into the mix.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. All right. I was going to say, I already have trauma. I don't need more.
Right?
That too. Enough trauma. Okay. Well, speaking of trauma, let's get into it.
All right.
Let's do the thing. You guys, this week we're going to talk about McKamey Manor. Now, Cassie, when I brought this up to you to come on to do the Halloween special with me, and I was like,
Yes.
"Oh, McKamey Manor," and you're like, "Okay, cool." And then, like the next day, you're like, Oh, McKamey Manor.
Yeah, I didn't know the name of the place, but I knew the place.
If you knew the place. I feel like that's a lot of people, like, to be quite honest with you. There's a
Hmm.
lot of people I brought it up to just kind of casually in conversation. For the last like 3 years of my life, I've been kind of obsessed with the topic a little bit. Um,
Because it's crazy.
it's right, it's crazy. And well, big things had happened a couple what I think it was 2016 to 2017,
Yeah.
where someone got hurt really, really badly there, and we'll get into it.
Hmm.
But it kind of that's what really got my attention. I had no idea the place even existed prior to that, but there was like these rumors about all this crazy shit that happened there, and I'm like, what is this? Is this for real? And then I got really big into looking into extreme haunts and things like that. But then, for whatever reason, just the last couple of years, as I've been an actual investigator, because I remember at the time, I was not who I am now. And it was like there was some back and forth of, well, it's not real, but yes, it is real, but it's not real. But here's this person who's obviously beat the fuck up. So obviously it is real. And I was like, okay. So something got my attention, probably one of the Halloween articles. If you guys have not heard of McKamey Manor, I'll just give you a very quick introduction into what it is. McKamey Manor is, touts itself around as an extreme haunted house. Okay. It is very much like supposed to be. We'll get into that, but it's very much a survive your own horror movie type of experience. Now, McKamey Manor's claim to fame, there's a lot of these extreme haunts out and about. You go to a haunted house, right? You think of a haunted house. It's decorated spooky, right?
Hmm.
Actors
Yeah.
jump out, they scare you. Most of the time that's what it is. They scare you.
Back in the good old days, that's what it was.
What it used to be. People just jumping down around the corner, dressed as a clown with a chainsaw or whatever.
Right.
And you go through and you're scared and you have a good time. And, for a minute, you kind of lose your sensibilities thinking that you're in danger, but you're not. You never are. And as the years kind of went on and people continue to be thrill seekers, with higher and higher demands, haunts started to become a little bit different. We started getting haunts where they could touch you, right? So
Yeah.
not just they're jumping out around the corner, but now they're going to jump out around the corner and grab you, But then they let go and you're free
Have
to
you
go.
ever done one of those?
No.
Okay.
Have you?
No. I'm afraid of reflexes.
I
And
am not.
I don't want to get in trouble for anything because my reflexes.
Yeah. So I am not I'm a spooky alt girl, but I don't like haunted houses
I
because
like the original haunted houses.
I don't like
I
jump
do
scares.
not want to be grabbed because I might hit you.
Yeah.
And it's not because I want to hit you, it's just because of reflexes.
Well, and I think that's what it is. I was kind of having a conversation about this with one of my friends recently, and I'm not a jump scare person. I'm not into that. I don't like it in my movies. I obviously don't like it in a haunted house, and I feel like I also would probably hurt someone. And so
Mhm.
I've been to different haunted attractions. I've never walked through one before,
Okay.
and so um I've been on like haunted hay rides and stuff, and normally like that's my limit. Like I will go on one that I have to go through, right? You get on a
Right.
hay ride, you don't have a choice, you're going through it.
Right.
But if I have to walk through one, I
Mhm.
don't know if I would do well.
I've been to Mansfield Blood Prison a few times, and honestly, the like beauty of the prison is something to look at, and the haunted house is like nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
But you can go do that any time of year.
right, but it's just with the lighting that they have up and like the smoke machines and stuff, like the
Yes,
prison
yeah.
looks amazing.
I love the aesthetic of a haunted house, and I wish I could go and just enjoy them without somebody jumping out at me, right? Wanting to
Right.
get fucking punched in the face. Like
Or
I
the
don't
group behind you like pushing you along. Like,
to try to hurry up. Well, and that's why I like the one Huber Hunt place that I talked about, Harshmanville. It's
mhm.
like that. There's no actors. It's just the scare comes in. I mentioned that the scariest part about it at one point is they have this whole setup in their yard where It's like a walkthrough, and it's enclosed, so it has like a roof and everything, and it's all clowns, and it's all only clown animatronics.
Right.
And there's a room that you go into. So normally, like, you turn the corner and here's another scene with all these clowns, right? And then you turn another corner, it's clowns. Well, there's one room that you walk into, and there's a scene in front of you and a scene behind you. And you're in there, and you're in this little enclosed space. And the scene in front of you, it's not that creepy, but immediately behind you are these two fucking massive clown animatronics, and all they're doing is laughing the whole time. And if you sit there long enough, it really starts to fuck with you. And you're like, are those are just machines, right? Then,
man.
but I love that. I love that I can go and I can enjoy the scenes and enjoy the scenery without having to worry about somebody jumping out at me,
Okay.
So that's my preference. Going back to McKamey Manor, we're not going to get into quite the history just yet. But, like I was saying about the evolution of haunts and kind of how they have developed over the years, we have a really famous one in Ohio. It's called Haunted Hoochie.
Yeah.
And, Haunted Hoochie is all about its scenes. I mean, it is a typical boo haunt. Also, it's very tame, but like probably their most famous thing is there's like a demon birth scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where like you walk into a room and there's a woman giving birth to a demon.
You can't go to the hoochie without seeing the coochie.
You're gonna get you some hoochie coochie. You're in Ohio. But they have other stuff too, that's really cool and really big. It's probably our biggest one, our most well-known one in Ohio. But it's a little more on the extreme side just because of how well the aesthetics are, for everything. And so, but you've got others that are a lot more immersive.
Yes.
But McKamey Manor was probably the original immersive haunt, because it has been going on for so long. I didn't fact check this to see how long all these other extreme haunts have been going on for, but this one does seem to be the longest standing one.
Yeah, like 89, I think.
It's allegedly, yeah,
Right.
which I couldn't find any proof of that. But at minimum, it's the early 2000s.
Okay.
But potentially the 80s. Predating the internet and stuff. So, but the big thing about McKamey Manor, the big claim to fame, is that nobody has ever finished it. To the point of there's now a $20,000 prize available to you if you finish, and nobody ever has. So, of course, this sets off the excitement for all the thrill seekers, right? All the tough people out there. They're like, "Well, I can fucking do that.
Right.
I'm gonna do it." And they go to the manor with full intention on doing it, and then they all fail. Or do they? Or do they?
That's the question.
That's the question of today's episode. Do they fail? Has anybody ever actually beaten McKamey Manor? The short answer is yes, but we're gonna get there.
The real question is, has anybody actually failed McKamey Manor?
Right. Maybe back in the day. So McKamey Manor has gone through a lot of changes over the years. Cassie, like you said, it may have been around since 1989, but there's no proof of that exactly. McKamey Manor is owned and operated by a Navy veteran by the name of Russ McKamey. He's a bad guy. He's not a good guy. And we're gonna get into the.
He comes off like, at first, like when you first start diving into this, like, oh, that's a very personable guy, and then your opinion changes like dramatically.
Right, once you start digging into it, and he does seem like a really nice guy. He does seem really likable and fun. He's got great showmanship, I should say.
Right.
But how could you say that about somebody who legally tortures people? Well, exactly. We're gonna get there. So Russ McKamey, what we know about him, in general as a person, like I said, he ended up, he joined the Navy. He was in the Navy for a very long time, like 20 years or something.
Yeah.
He ends up retiring from the Navy, but he still worked with veterans for a really long time. And he moved to San Diego, California in 1996 with his then wife, Linda. And
Linda.
so, and this is where I think probably the manor, really where it started, is more the late 90s, just because, where the fuck was it before that point?
Well, I think when he states like 89, that might have been like when he had the haunt that was geared towards children.
Maybe he just had a small haunt for all
Right.
those years. Yeah.
Because
Could've
it did mention that he did haunts in the Navy as well for all the guys.
He might have. It could have been, So he started as a haunter in 89, maybe,
Mhm.
like a haunt actor or something, and it just kind of grew. But we know for a fact, like I said, he moved to San Diego in 96 with wife Linda. That didn't last long. That marriage did not last a while, because shortly after, in 1997, he meets and starts dating a partner that a lot of people have heard of. Her name is Carol.
Yes, Carol.
And Carol plays a big role because this seems to be when the manor really came together, when he got together with Carol. So people in San Diego start hearing rumors about a local haunt, just a boo haunt. Just a boo haunt. And for a long time, it was just a boo haunt. At I think that it was on like Amherst or something. I don't know the fucking street name. It doesn't matter. It's not there now. Fuck. But a lot of people very much knew about, this boo haunt. It was very popular. A lot of people, they would do segments on it, on like the local news and stuff, about how neat it was. And it was neat. You can go back and see footage of the little boo haunt. And for something that's just in somebody's yard, yeah, it's really impressive. The decorations are good. They've got
Right.
actors of all kinds and all ages jumping out and scaring people right in their
Mhm.
backyard. But things started getting kind of weird and taking a turn. So they stopped only putting it up during Halloween, and they started leaving it up year round, just because it gained so much popularity locally. And then things started to kind of continue to morph from there. Russ and Carol are slowly phasing out their child actors and trading them in for, well, of age actors, except some of them still weren't.
Yeah, there's some trouble they got into there, wasn't there?
I don't think they were ever held accountable for
Not
anything.
accountable
No.
for the trouble, but having the children there were causing them more trouble.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, it's not, to me, I couldn't really find where it was clear where McKamey Manor transitioned from a boo haunt to an extreme haunt, but it does seem like there was a slow progression to doing this.
Right, it just kept getting more and more as the years went on.
Yeah, it kept getting bigger. They started integrating stunts into it, more
Mhm.
immersive things into it. And I can't tell you immediately right off the bat what started first. I don't know. Um, Mostly we don't know these things because
It's a
Russ
really big
McKamey,
secret. Everything's a really big secret.
yeah, Russ McKamey is a pathological liar. Well, and I can't say he's a pathological liar because I don't know if he lies just for like the fun of it. He does do it because he's trying to build something, but create a story of his own. But you can't believe a word the man fucking says.
Well, it's bad because like once you watch all these things on him, like we watched so much stuff on McKamey Manor, but like you kind of start thinking like he believes the lies that he's telling.
I think in some cases, yeah, probably. I think you're absolutely right about that. Like, I think he definitely. It's hard not to get into it without getting into it. We're gonna get
Right.
there. We're gonna get there. Um, Okay, so we'll continue on the timeline for now, and then we'll
Yep.
get there because shit
Okay.
gets real fucking heavy in like 2016, and all of a sudden it's like, bam, it's bad.
Mhm.
So we'll get to that point. So he starts dating Carol. They have this boo haunt, and it just kind of continues to grow and grow in popularity. As things started becoming more and more extreme, there were like local rumors about the haunt. That was probably the funnest part of doing the research for this episode, was seeing what the locals thought of McKamey Manor at the time. Because as it extended to be year round, I mean, it would be fucking Easter Sunday, and someone's at the manor screaming their fucking ass off, and they're like, "You're kind of killing the vibe here." Jesus doesn't even want to come back. That's the kids are having their pool party. Someone's fucking again screaming, "Help me, help me!" And they're like, it's just all their friends are like, "What's that about?" And they're like, "It's just the manor."
Yeah, happens all the time.
We're used to it. But rumors are growing about what exactly happens there. And like you were saying, it's a big secret. At the time that this is all kind of building, the internet's also growing in popularity, but it's not quite there. And the manor's not quite there yet as far as like the internet infamy that it is now. People didn't really know about it internationally unless they knew,
Right.
Maybe you had visited San Diego, or maybe you had family in San Diego and you heard about it, through the grapevine that way, or, how things just naturally kind of build. But there were no real dedicated Facebook pages or anything like that yet.
No, not yet.
So things get, like you said, a little dicey when it came to the minors and the adult actors, because you would have people that would show up as like a family unit.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be like a grandma and a mom and a dad and maybe their teenager. And the grandma,
and that threw me off doing the research, because like you can go to the manor's like actual Google page and look at reviews, and you're like, yeah, I took my grandma there. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. Well, because it's so far removed from a boo haunt now.
Right.
You're just like, wow, huh? And even then, we all know it as this extreme, horrifying haunted house, right? Bloodied up people that are beaten up and waterboarded almost to death. And, but no, during this time period, yeah, you would have these whole families that would go. And, maybe the mom and the grandma and the teenager were just going for the boo haunt, but then dad signed up for the big boy haunt.
Okay.
And so, they would go through their regular boo haunt experience, and then dad at some point would get what seemed to be abducted from the haunt and then taken off to go do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so they did have this mix of minors and adults, but you had minors becoming adults, and that kind of made things a little strange. So if you guys have not listened to it, you definitely go listen to it if you would like. I listened to the entirety of the Inside McKamey Manor podcast.
Yeah, we listen to a lot of stuff.
Oh my gosh. Well, for years I've been personally looking into this, but leading up to this, I am like McKamey Manored out after this. Let me tell you, I don't want to hear the fucking name for another couple years.
Oh yeah, it's like I told you earlier, I don't ever want to hear Russ's voice again.
No, done with that. But the Inside McKamey Manor series, it's like an 8-part series or something. It's a whole podcast, and it's okay, I guess. It's not funny like we are, so just stay here. We'll give you the cool version. But no, one of the people that they interviewed on that was a teenage girl who worked for the Boo Haunt at the time, when they had the extreme haunt going on as well. And they kind of did like an initiation with her and took her through the extreme haunt.
Well, that was for every actor they had to do that, correct? Did that go all the way back?
So eventually, yes.
Okay.
Eventually it turned into every person who ever worked for Russ ended up having to do the manor. But at that time, I don't believe it was all the minors.
So
I don't believe it was everybody.
The start of it.
Right. And so, well, she wanted, she's at that weird, I think she was like between 14 and 16 at that time.
Okay.
And so, she intended to work with the manor for a very long time. She's getting really close with people. Not just that, there is some controversy where she was actually being preyed upon by one of the adult actors.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, who, of course, ended up serving jail time for it. So, but because of her perspective and where she was with it, this was going to be a place that she was going to work for a very long time. And, she thought they were all her friends. And so in order to kind of initiate her into that, more extreme haunt role, she had to go through the manor herself. And when you're going through the manor, what kinds of things is it that they do to you at the manor? um, First you have to sign a waiver.
Yes.
Okay. First and foremost, you have to sign the waiver. There is one copy of this waiver out and about on the internet. You can go look at it yourself. Cassie, you have that pulled up, right? That was one of the things you were going through.
Oh yeah.
Pretty extensively. So per this waiver, and Russ says that it's a 40-page waiver. You only found how many pages?
26.
26. Do you just want to read some of the things on the list that they
So,
say that they
okay,
can do to you?
I'll give you the I'll give you the basic requirements, and then I pulled like a handful out that I thought would be a no-go for me. So you have to be 21 and older, or 18 to 20 with parental approval. You have to complete a physical exam and provide a doctor's note affirming physical and mental fitness. Pass a background check. Have a video or phone screening with Russ. Provide proof of medical insurance. Pass a drug test on the day of the event. And sign a detailed 40-page waiver. So there are, I want to say like 130 clauses like in the waiver that you have to agree to before you sign it. That will happen to you in the manor if you make it that far. These are some that just caught me off guard to like personally terrifying. And it's probably not the stuff that you would think would be like the most horrible things. But like if you think about it, it's like Final Destination stuff, like stuff that could happen and shouldn't happen.
Sure.
So number 46 is may incur injuries from exposed screws or other protrusions, which may result in laceration or bruises. That's just
Okay.
like, why is your haunt not built properly? Like, I don't want to get tetanus.
Well, being up to code is not Russ's strong suit.
Right. But that's just one of the things like, okay, like that's not even like the scary part. Like
Right. It's not even part of it. It just is part of it.
number 54, agree that they may be crushed in a pit by various objects. No. Like
No.
you are not crushing me with anything.
Yeah. Yep.
56, agrees that they may be fish hook inadvertently causing ripping to the mouth. If you're getting fish hook, you're getting ripped in the mouth. Like there's no
Well, that's true.
inadvertently about it.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
Like I know what you did last summer. Like no. 59, agrees that if they are selected to visit the dentist, they may have a tooth extracted without Novocaine.
Yep. Yep. That's a big one. That's a big one for the manor.
Right. And 68, nails may be removed from their nail beds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you even have like a hangnail and you've pulled that thing and it just stings the whole time if it hits the skin. Like, this is your whole nail they're pulling off.
Yep.
This one. Agrees that they will be enclosed in a caged drowning pool and their head will be completely engulfed in a toilet and possible drowning may occur.
Oh no.
If I'm going to drown, it best not be in a toilet.
Right, don't drown me in a fucking toilet.
Especially, okay, after this next one, like, what is going to be in that toilet? Like, the next one is number 103. Agrees that they may have to put their vomit on a person, including their face and mouth.
Yep.
If I am eating my own vomit, what are you drowning me in a toilet of?
You don't want to know.
Right. Two more. 105, agrees to the real possibility of their extremities being crushed by heavy objects.
Oh, great.
No.
Mutilation.
Right. 109, they will be in very close contact with fire surrounding their entire body with the real possibilities of being burned or possible death.
Yeah.
I'm not signing a waiver that literally tells me like 130 times that you could die from this.
Yeah. Right.
Like that's like one of those commercials on TV for those drugs that they have, and they give you all like the side effects, and you're like, I'd rather have the original disease.
You're like, well, that sounds terrible.
Right.
Yeah, the waiver is extensive. No, we know something about this waiver is that it is not legally, like, it would not stand any type of legal at all. I mean, it's just, you can't kill people. Like, it doesn't work that way. Ask, what's his name? We talked about him recently, the German cannibal, Armin Meiwes. He had a whole video showing the guy consenting to the whole thing. Showing the guy requesting to cut off his penis, and they ate it together, or tried to. And, he's still in prison now for the rest of his life. You can't just kill someone. Of course, that was Germany, but still, even in America, you can't kill somebody.
You can't do it.
You just can't.
Ask Michael Jackson's doctor. Like, you can't.
You just cannot. So at the time, around this time, this would be around 2010, when, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. But now there is a waiver. Carol says that at that time, the waiver was only like 1 page, and it was a lot simpler. Russ, of course, has never said that. That Carol said it wasn't that. It wasn't what Cassie's reading, and it's definitely not 40 pages. However, what were they doing to the people in the manor around 2010? Let's talk about that a little bit. Here's some things that we know for sure. Number one, Russ's favorites seems to be waterboarding.
Navy.
He, yep. He waterboards everyone, literally everyone. And, if you don't know what waterboarding is, they soak your fucking face with a hose pretty much. And, until you can't breathe. I mean, most of the time you drown, right, with that.
Yeah.
But, basically what they're doing at the manor, him and the actors. And a lot of the time during that period of time, it was the actors doing this, with Russ acting as kind of like the director, right?
Right.
Which is interesting because he does eventually start recording all of the quote unquote tours, the McKamey Manor tours, as he calls them, and refers to all of them as movies. So he's acting as like the guy behind the camera, telling the actors what to do, and they're waterboarding the shit out of people. That minor girl that I had mentioned earlier, she talks about one of the first things she did was be taken to a kiddie pool. Right, like a little kiddie pool, like a dog pool that had a cage in it that was filled up with water, and she was put into that cage. Which almost word for word, the waiver says that you're going to be put in a cage with water, except there's a toilet also. She didn't mention any toilet, but she does mention, of course.
Oh no, there's another clause that says you're going to be put in a cage with water. This is a separate clause with the toilet.
Well, great.
There's a bunch of them that have to do with water and drowning.
Well, and yeah, that seems to be a big one, probably because it's easy to do to people. I mean, it doesn't require a lot. But this is a big one. So, they are, you're dunked into water and held underwater quite a bit on top of, having the hoses on your face. I mean, most of the time, as soon as you enter the manor, you are immediately blindfolded. A lot of your senses are taken away. Oh yeah, that's right. When you're signing this waiver, you're signing it while they are actively like tormenting you. Like, it starts as soon as your ass sits in the seat to sign that piece of paper. Before you even sign anything, they're automatically... So, technically, you're signing under duress, okay? Because it's already... and there is, video of this taking place. You can go watch Russ be annoying. I mean, it's pretty much bullying people, dumping shit on their heads and, slapping them around in the face. And, right off the rip, before they've even... put the John Hancock on the paper, y'all.
Telling them that they don't want to do this, they can't do this, like trying to get them to stop. Just because he doesn't want to ever have to give someone $20,000.
Yeah, because he don't have it.
Because he loves torturing the shit out of people.
He does. This is his thing. So like I said, waterboarding, that's a big one. A lot of it is smoke and mirrors. So one of the speculated reasons why you have to do a drug test before you go in, which, by the way, I've never seen where anybody's actually had to do a drug test, but it says you're supposed to, is that because he's going to drug you while you're there.
Yes.
You're going to get drugged. And so, usually they'll strap you down or they'll restrain you somehow. And then, there's video of them, giving needles to people.
Yeah. Cutting
They're,
them open and then putting a needle in them.
yep, putting a needle in there. And
Filled with what? I do not know, but
yeah. And then there's also footage of him, like it'll like in the waiver it'll say that you'll be forced to eat and drink all kinds of crazy shit, and they will. People will eat really gross stuff. We don't know what
their own vomit
on the moon. Well, yes, some people have reported they have eaten their own vomit.
Yeah, I found a few videos of that, and I'm like, oh god.
One person reported that they, a person that we're going to get into a little bit more, she reported that in order to even be accepted to get into the manor, she had to drink her own pee.
Yes.
Before they would even let her
Yep.
do it. They cut your hair. That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
They cut your hair, and not just like cut your hair. They shave your head the fuck off, like all of it, and your eyebrows. And this is like, I mean, that doesn't sound crazy, right? Because I'd rather have my hair cut than like beat the fuck up or fed drugs or whatever.
Yeah, but it's more like long-lasting psychological after you leave.
It's a really horrible. Cutting hair or shaving hair is something that fucked up parents do to their kids on purpose, because of the psychological trauma that takes place when that happens.
The Amish.
Do the Amish do that?
Oh, they get their bowls and just chop all the kids' hair.
Stop, they get their bowls. That probably is what. Well, and you'll see it in cults too.
Oh yeah,
where they'll give people purposefully terrible haircuts. I mean, that sounds so silly, but it really is huge. It's a big deal to have a fucked up haircut. So call your barber this weekend, y'all. Get your shit fixed. Because it's probably hurting you more than you think.
right?
But that's a big one. They will. There's video of them extracting teeth, of them pulling, teeth out of people, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of things. And it is terrible. And again, just beatings. They'll just beat you.
One of them is the, and I forget what it's called. What, the Houdini one? Where they put you in the
water,
the vest?
water.
Yeah.
Oh, the straight jacket? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then put in, or they'll bury you alive.
Yep, that too.
That's another one. They'll bury you alive with just, maybe you breathe through a straw, maybe not. It's terrible. So when people are going through the process at that time, again, we're talking about 2010s.
Right.
When people are going through the process of being interviewed to even take place in the manor, Russ asks, what is it that you're afraid of? Because here's the thing, you are signing up for this experience. That is exactly what you're going there for. So it's not like you're an unsuspecting person going to a regular boo haunt and then you're blindsided by all of this. You know what you're getting into. And Russ does tell you a million times. The whole catchphrase of the whole manor is, you really don't want to do this.
Right. But if somebody asks me, like, what are you afraid of when I'm signing up for a torture event? Like, I am afraid of rainbows and
I hate cheesecake. It's just the worst. And
the dairy just makes me want to vomit.
Soft music, the worst. Exactly. But again, these are people that do it for whatever reason. A lot of times, actually, it's interesting. Getting into their psychology, they do tend to have their own trauma. Even though Russ says that you have to be cleared by a doctor and stuff, I've never seen where anybody's actually ever had to do that.
Right.
Most of the time, they just have to do something extreme beforehand, like the one girl had to drink her own pee.
And that's what the phone call with Russ is for beforehand.
Yeah.
Basically, he makes himself the doctor, and he's going to say, okay, yeah, you're good.
Yes, you can, or no, you can't. I don't think he's ever told anybody no. So, that's where it was, like I said, and roughly, 2010, that was the whole thing. Well, 20 and all this, I guess I'll mention that too. All this at the cost of one donation of a bag of dog food
I
or
was
4
just
cans
about to mention that. Like, you missed the
of wet
payment.
food. Yeah, 4 cans of wet food, which he would at that time. He did donate to a local, specifically a greyhound rescue in the area.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh, okay, well then it can't be that bad, right? He's the one fulfilling all these people's, thrill-seeking pleasures, right? They're the ones that want it, and also it's for a good cause.
Right.
I suppose. I suppose so. Well,
Yeah,
something happens.
it might have started that way for the, like, I don't know, just in his head.
Maybe. Well,
Look
something
at all the good I'm
happens.
doing. You
Something
don't even have to
happens.
pay $19 a month.
Well, he wants people to show up, to come see him. He obviously, the guy, he is a showman. He's an attention whore. And you know what? I say this all the time. Guys, there's nothing wrong with being an attention whore. I am very much an attention whore. I admit
Right.
that. I know that about myself. But it's how you go about getting that attention that determines whether or not you're like a decent person or a bad person.
So
Right?
in San Diego, he was a professional wedding singer.
That's right. That's
And
right.
when you looked up like how to contact Russ McKamey, it wasn't through McKamey Manor. It was actually through his business of wedding singing email. Like,
Yeah. And there's all kinds of like pictures and video and stuff of him. He had a band and everything. I don't think he still does, but like it's at a couple points in his life he's had a band and
right.
he did the wedding singer thing. I mean, yeah, the guy's obviously, like I said, he likes attention, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, it's how you go about getting that attention
Hmm.
where the issue lies. And sometimes when you find out that you can get attention by negative means, then that feeds into that, and then you create an ego at that point, and it just becomes all bad too quick, right? That's just the way it
Yeah.
is. It's like the people that turn from rags to riches, and then they become assholes, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
stay humble, folks. Is my point. That's what I'm saying. Stay humble, and you're attention whoring.
I don't
Well,
have anything else. Yeah, that's the best. Stay
you
humble
know,
when you're being an attention whore, please.
yeah, stay humble. You can get the attention you want. You don't have to be an asshole to get it.
Right.
So 2013 rolls around, and 2013 was massive for the manor because it was featured on the Travel Channel, not once, but twice, 2 different shows. And this blew up McKamey Manor in a way that I think even Russ himself didn't think he would ever achieve. He was finally getting the recognition that he thought he deserved, okay,
Right.
as an attention whore. And, things, like I said, they get bigger. Well, when he goes on the Travel Channel, he's got some really big claims that he brought with him at that point. He claimed at that point in time that that his haunt is so massive and so sought after that it has a waiting list of 27,000 people.
And they only do like what, a couple people a week through the haunt.
So right, so many shows.
Is that where it is at this time? Like they only do a handful of people a week.
Probably
Okay.
because he did still have most of his actors and stuff at that point in time.
Okay.
So they're not doing it constantly. This is a big to do, and this seems to be where the cash prize starts coming into play as well, because it's 2013 and it's blowing up because it's getting attention on syndicated television. He starts really leaning on social media as a way to promote this and make this bigger. His YouTube channel had launched back in 2009, but YouTube wasn't like it is now in
Right.
2009. It was still pretty new. So it was on there, but after the Travel Channel situation, I mean, people are coming from all over, and so he seemed to have mentioned $1,000 prize initially, to get through the manor, to make it through the manor. Nobody had ever done it. And that was the claim also. I have a 27,000 long waiting list. Nobody's ever been able to get through this haunt. It's about 8 to 10 hours. an 8 to 10 hour haunt that you're not going to be able to make it through, and there's a prize at the end.
Right.
So he starts, prancing around this $1,000 prize, and then one day the prize changes from it's not $1,000 anymore. Now it's $2,000, and now it's $5,000, and eventually he gets all the way up to this big whopping $20,000 number. Okay, which in 2013 that was a decent chunk of change.
It's a decent chunk of change now because no one has anything.
That's fair. But you can't even get like a brand new car, $20,000. Isn't that sad? You can get a new to you car, but you can't get a brand new car for $20,000.
Yeah, but you can probably get groceries for a year.
Yeah, you probably could. As long as they stop what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck. But maybe half a year. You can get one carton of eggs for $20,000. Glad that shit's over. Anyway, but eventually gets up to the super ridiculous $20,000 cash prize for you to complete the manor. And again, it's expected to take about 8 to 10 hours. And nobody's ever been able to do it. So, of course, now people are coming from all over the country to try to take on the McKamey Manor, right? And they're gonna make it through.
Yeah, but in the waiver, it states the haunt is not over until Russ says it's over. Do you think he's really going to let anybody win $20,000?
No, he never will, and that's
right.
It is impossible to win it. And we'll explain to you guys how and why that is. Because there's still people to this day that, the whole reason I want to do this episode and talk about it, because it's a weird thing to talk about, right? When I'm usually telling you guys about abductees and, Bigfoot penises, and, I get it. But there's still so much misinformation out here about this place. And I think it's important to expose, because we also can expose bad people sometimes when there's some layover, right? This is a part of our spooky world, right? It's part of spooky lore.
This is a real person, and he does these things in real life.
In real life. Yeah. And it's fucking weird. And so we're talking about it. So like I said, it starts to, get real big and blows up. Let me go back to my timeline here. In 2015, he started to come across some legal trouble, because now at this point, it's so out of control. It's a 27,000 people waiting list. It's a $20,000 prize for a haunt that nobody can get through. Russ himself is telling everybody that someone's died at his haunt. Somebody had a heart attack there. And then the stuff with the miners kind of starting to come out also. Mm-hmm. With the one miner in particular, and with his haunt actor, and it's controversial. But he also has trouble in La La Land. Him and Carol break up.
Yeah, that Travel Channel gave him the fame, and Carol was not having the lifestyle that came with it.
Nah, I'm good. Well, Carol has spoken out against him. She has made several physical abuse allegations, tons of other allegations against him. Whether or not those are true, well, they probably are. Let's be real.
This is what he does for a living.
Right, exactly. He literally beats people up, women, all the time. Right?
Why wouldn't he do it at home?
It's probably true, but he's never been convicted of anything against Carol. And
but she's probably afraid.
Yeah. So they split up, and he tries to move the haunt to Illinois. And one of the reasons that he gives for moving the haunt to Illinois is not because of his breakup with Carol, which realistically, that's what happened. Because Russ, that was his money, was Carol. He wasn't making money from the haunt, obviously. He didn't charge any fucking thing for people to go into it.
Right.
And he had lost his job. He was, some type of, like I said, a veterans advocate, believe it or not. And lost his job. And so Carol was funding all of it. Carol pretty much built that haunt brick by brick.
But she never had to pay for dog food.
They had 20 of them.
They had a lot of dogs.
They did.
People said, going through the manor when it was connected, in their backyard, that it just smelled like dog piss.
Ew. That's probably true.
Yeah.
Probably all those things of quote unquote water is just dog piss.
Right, exactly. Where else are they going to put it?
In the toilet, obviously.
It's San Diego. It's hot. They have droughts. Where'd the water come from?
Oh my god. Ugh, gross. So yeah, so he doesn't really name, publicly any of these reasons. He just says it's because, San Diego's sick of his shit. They don't want him in the neighborhood anymore, so he's going to move to Illinois, and he had secured a spot and he was getting ready to move. But the town that he was moving to, they all petitioned. They said, fuck, absolutely not, no. They said,
Didn't
hell,
want anything to do with that shit.
no, nothing at all to do with it. I mean, he was pretty much chased out of Illinois, not physically, but they were very clear in the fact that they were not going to accept him to run the manor there.
Right.
So then he, eventually he moves the manor to Somerton, Tennessee.
Well, he also tried to move it to Arizona, and they did the same thing. They were like, no.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he had a hard time finding a place.
Right.
When he moves it to Somerton, Tennessee, he also announces that not only is he moving it to Somerton, but there's going to be a second haunt location in Huntsville, Alabama.
Well, in 2017, there were supposed to be 3 different phases. Phase 1 would be in Summertown, Phase 2 would be in Nashville, and then Phase 3 would be in Huntsville.
Oh my gosh. Of course, he calls them phases.
Which you have to complete all 3 phases to win the $20,000. And he probably makes you walk home from Huntsville, Alabama after that.
You walk all the way home. Yeah, let me tell you something about Summertown here is that it is as of 2023 had a population of 793 people.
Yep.
Which is probably why he was able to move it there, right? Because there wasn't as much people that would even give a fuck to know who he is to try to kick him out.
Mm-hmm.
But as he is talking about this huge, massive, I guess, network of haunts that he's going to have everywhere, he's still very much hosting shows.
Oh yeah.
Rather, he's still doing the tours, but the tours convert. He doesn't have a boo haunt anymore. There is not one. It does not exist now. It was deconstructed. Carol owns all that shit. Whether or not she still does it, I don't think so. I think she wanted to get as far away from Russ McKamey as she possibly could.
Right.
But he does not take all of the props and things with him to conduct a real boo haunt. So they convert into, during this weird time period where he's moving around and stuff, to what he referred to as, quote, van tours. And during that time period, it's pretty much the same concept, except you're told to meet up at a park, right? Some spot.
Right.
And a van comes and you're told a bunch of shit. You're given all these instructions before you even show up. And so you're told what to wear.
Yep.
They always request that you show up in some type of animal onesie. A lot of times you're told to bring Russ food. So, he'll be like, I want a milkshake from Five Guys, bring me one. You do. You're told to buy stuff. This is equipment that's going to be used in your show, that you're told to pick up before this happens. And then you're told to meet him at a park.
And you're still supposed to bring dog food too at this time.
Yeah. Now, sometimes when you're doing these tours, it's not, at that time, was not like a solo venture. It always seemed to be like a group effort. You can find videos of these tours online as well.
Oh yeah.
Russ has put a lot of this shit out for people to see in public. So a lot of them you'll see groups of people, 3, 4, 5 people sometimes, that are going on one of these. I think one of the first videos I saw was of one of these tours happening. And it was like a decent sized group of people in these onesies that were driven around in a van and then taken to some fucking mud spot in the middle of nowhere, kicked around and shit, beating them up while they're trying to do push-ups and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what it is. And so they abduct you from your spot, okay, and then they take you off to who knows where because you're immediately blindfolded and usually restrained, handcuffed, or whatever. The beatings kind of start in the van. You're taken out to who knows where, all the while you're trying to sign the waiver because you still haven't signed it yet. And, they're beating the shit out of you and you're rolling around in the mud. And then it goes on from there. But most of it takes place in you riding in this van, to these different spots to have whatever done to you. Okay.
Right.
So,
phase 1.
You're doing phase 1 and you're not going to make it past phase 1.
No.
Mostly because there's no phase 2, but we're not going to talk about that. It's because you're weak and you really don't want to do this.
Right.
That's the problem.
Stop being so weak. You
Stop
fucking
being
pussy.
You're being a little bitch about everything. So, but something big happens. One very specific tour happened during this time period that would really change McKamey Manor, the public reception of McKamey Manor, and I think even Russ McKamey as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
A woman by the name of Laura Brotherton would do the McKamey Manor tour.
Yeah. There's a lot from Laura Brotherton online, if anybody wants to look it up.
Yeah. Yes, look it up. I'm not telling you everything, but we're going to tell you the hit pieces. Ooh, that's not a good word to use for this. We're going to tell you the important parts. So Laura Brotherton, she was the one that had to drink her pee before she could even do the thing. And she'll tell you about it.
Oh, yeah.
That information came from her. She goes and she does the tour. And one big thing happens when he does these tours with people. So at the very end of the tour, after you've had the shit kicked out of you and you've been through hell and back, he has you do like an exit interview. And in every single one of these exit interviews, it's always like, I had such a great time. This was wonderful. It really challenged me as a person. But you definitely don't want to do this, so don't do it.
Right.
And then they leave and they go on about their life. Well, up until this point, the general reception from the public is that, again, these are people that obviously have their own fucked up issues and they're signing up willingly to do this for whatever reason. Whether it be because they want the $20,000, whether it be because they have their own trauma and they work it out by going to these extreme haunts with these extreme experiences. It doesn't matter. They're consenting adults. And these exit speeches were a big
They
part
asked
of
for
that.
this. Like, if they had the chance to even look at that waiver, like, and agree to all these things, you signed it. Like, that's on you. It's not like Russ is trying to hide stuff from you. Like, he posts all the videos. He has this waiver. Like, what you're getting into when you sign this document.
Yeah. And so, Laura goes through her situation and she doesn't even look like her at the end of it. At this exit interview, very shortly after she leaves this experience, she ended up going public online, talking about the literal torture that she just went through, and not in the same way that she did in her exit interview. Not, man, that was really great. I really loved it. She's like, they beat the fuck out of me. And you can tell her nose is all bruised up. It's broken. It's fucking broken. I believe her jaw was broken.
Yep.
Or she had to have some type of surgery, with her jaw. I mean, she was fucked all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about it. She was speaking about this publicly. And this was really the first time that anybody from McKamey Manor had ever gone through the manor and then came out like this in public. And a lot of people were like, this is it's a publicity stunt by Russ, right? He's paid her to go on and do this, and say all this and whatever. And it's very much not. And Russ knows that he didn't hire her. So using the power of his internet posse, he starts telling people that Laura Brotherton is a hater, that she is basically a paid, like a spy who was paid to come in and infiltrate the manor and, get him taken down.
Right.
And to say all these horrible things, that she's nothing but a liar. None of that was real. And, we don't really hurt you in the manor. It's all smoke and mirrors. We're not really hurting you. We would never do that. And, it's all bullshit. So
Right.
these
He
people on the
literally,
internet,
his quote is, "It's not real. If people were really hurt, we'd be shut down. It's all smoke and mirrors." Like, that's his, 100% quote.
yeah. And, so the people that are on Russ's side, he's got some crazed fucking fans. Some people that just love him and love what he does. A lot of people, the big community of this, where this is mostly housed at, is his McKamey Manor Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually go and bully Laura Brotherton right the fuck off the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they harassed this woman. They were doxing this woman, putting her address out there, threatening her family members. Just because they're going after their boy Russ. Because they're fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's a cult.
It's a cult. And, he has taken years of buttering these people up, trying to make himself look like a good guy, right? Helping people work through their trauma with smoke and mirrors.
Right, because if you have, very low self-esteem, he is a very personable guy. And you will think he is your best friend, and he will do anything for you.
Yeah. And
because he was in the Navy and knows how to torture and trick these people and use the hypnotism or whatever he claims he uses.
The MK Ultra tactics.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, mind control, and he is really good at manipulating these people. Well, Laura Brotherton, like I said, she basically, she disappeared offline. Because here's the thing is that he then goes and takes her video and it's live streamed to the Facebook group. I don't know if it was in 2016. It may have been. I believe we had the capability to do that.
Yeah, you could do that then.
But a lot of the videos at that point, they were edits of tours. It wasn't the entirety of the tour, because it'd be crazy to put up like an 8-hour long video and and expect people to watch it. They don't.
Well, he said he would never show you what happens inside the manor because he doesn't want to give away all of his tricks.
That too. Yep, that too. Well, and he would play into it. Oh, this is just the stuff that I can show you. I can't show you the other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you're trying to curate a sense of fear and curiosity, and keep up that role, right? If you're playing a bit, then that's reasonable, right?
Right.
But the fact of the matter is that you're not seeing it all, and you're seeing only what he has, picked and chosen for you to see.
Right. You're seeing what he wants you to see.
Yeah. And so I believe with Laura Brotherton, that was definitely the case. I don't believe hers was live streamed. I don't think people saw the worst of it.
Right.
Even then, when you watch some of these live streams, they're not always constant. Even when they are constant, sometimes, they have to put the camera down and they do things and then they come back to the camera and, or, whoever's filming just isn't very good at it or whatever. Right. These aren't professionals. These are just hicks in a backyard.
But if you ask Russ, he's a professional movie maker.
Makes movies. Yeah. He's a professional.
It's not even a director. It's a movie maker.
Yeah.
Because people go to college for that.
So this is where, like I said, the internet kind of starts to turn a little bit because, you can't, we all saw her at the exit video. She looked like shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then we saw her at the hospital and she looked like shit and she was very much at the hospital,
Well, it's just like you watch all these videos and every single exit video, everyone looks like complete shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, I loved it.
It was great, but don't do it.
Right.
You really don't want to do this. So, people start kind of holding more of a scope to the McKamey Manor situation and going, maybe it's not all smoke and mirrors. Maybe it really is torturing people.
Right.
And like I said, this was around the time that I started getting into it because of the Laura Brotherton stuff that was coming out. And, kind of got interested because everybody else was like, yeah, we all thought, it was all fake. But, here we are. Here's this very real person very much sharing their story. But then it doesn't help because she gets bullied off the internet fucking disappears.
And you have nowhere to go after that with all the questions you now have.
Right. And it's gone. And so it's like, well, maybe she was just a hater.
Right.
Maybe it was just bullshit. Because it's all bullshit, right? Surely it all has to be bullshit. You cannot legally torture somebody. Like, you can't do that and get away with it.
Right.
Right? So,
and it says that your punishment escalates if you swear, because Russ, of all people, does not drink, smoke, or cuss. But he can torture the shit out of you and then bully you until you want to commit suicide. But he will not cuss in it.
No, he won't. He's completely ended people's tours for cussing.
Right.
Yep. He will stop it completely, and you are no longer eligible for the $20,000 cash prize because you said fuck when they were literally, burning your fingertips or whatever.
But you have to finish the haunt because it's not over yet because you cussed. But you don't get the $20,000, but your torture is going to escalate.
Right. We're going to make it worse.
Great.
So people start to kind of want to take on the manor to just figure out what the hell is going on there. Okay?
Just because they're curious now.
Right. They're getting curious. So 2016, he finally officially settles into Summertown, and also a Netflix documentary comes out called Haunters, The Art of the Scare.
That was in 2018 it came out on Netflix.
Was it 2018? My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
But it does it goes through the Tennessee, the Somerton stuff.
Because that's where it is now.
Right.
So we're now entering more modern day, but trust me, there's still lots more to talk about. I'm excited to get into. So in Summertown, he's got this whole setup there at the manor. This seems to be where the 20-page waiver comes out officially.
Right.
Before that point, it had never been made available. At least not to people who haven't signed it. And so now we finally have something leaked online. What we know now is that probably Russ himself leaked it online.
Oh, yeah.
To generate more. Because now it's, like I said, there's a bunch of negative shit. He had the legal troubles in 2015 when he's trying to move the haunt. And then all that bullshit with his life kind of, his life imploded. And now he's trying to kind of build it back up. And then after the Laura stuff happens, people are definitely distancing themselves from McKamey Manor.
Right.
Not just Laura, but definitely other people involved in their little group. You guys just don't even understand how many players there are in all of this.
There's so many people, but there's also so many people that have disappeared from the internet that would talk about it because Russ and his posse bullied them into being afraid for their lives and their families' lives.
Yeah. So many people, have come and tried to stand up. People that were close to Russ. Some people his own Facebook group moderators and stuff. Most of them.
Yeah.
He himself has bullied off of the internet because they question him, because they stand up to what he's doing. Just in the moment, there have been people on full-on tours that pull the plug on the tour and leave because they are not comfortable with what's happening. So many more victims, so many more tours, so many more people involved in all of this. But what happens every single time is when they get the balls and stand up to him, he grabs the rest of the cult and sends them after him.
Yep.
And that's why I made a post on social media about doing this episode and how, it could get rid of all of my social media, because what they'll do, they'll go and report your shit for child porn and stuff, claiming, and now everything's run by bots and algorithms. So nobody actually reviews your account to see if it's real, if you're really,
right.
If those claims are real. If you have 10,000 people that are reporting your profiles and shit, it's gone.
Maybe just make the title of the show something that doesn't say McKamey Manor in it, so people will actually have to listen.
Well, I don't think they can take the episode down.
No.
Because this is why I don't do YouTube, is because YouTube will take that shit down.
Right.
Good luck doing that on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever. If Joe Rogan can have a whole platform, so can I. Okay.
Right, exactly.
So if that happens, in the event that I am off of social media, I'll be back. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
There's workarounds, but
She'll tell me how to figure it out. We'll go from there.
we'll figure it out. And I hope it does, because that'd be pretty cool. If the episode gets this big that 10,000 people are reporting my profile, great.
Right, and then when you come back, oh my gosh, you're going to be on fire.
Be a legend, right? So, like I said, people are kind of distancing themselves away from it, but he still has some stragglers here and there who are close enough and they want to come help with the haunt. But the Summertown stuff turns into something different. Now, McKamey Manor is all about stunts, doing stunts. Now, he claims that there is a manor on the property.
Right.
But you have to get through a series of stunts in order to get to the manor.
Right. You can't even complete phase 1 until you pass his stunts, which he says means your body is capable of handling the manor.
Yeah. And, so before you can even get there, the only way that you can apply to the manor is through the official McKamey Manor Facebook group. Okay. You have to join the Facebook group. And modern day now, I don't think this was in the beginning of 2017, but now definitely, you have to include a picture of your photo ID.
Okay.
Yep. You have, and now I believe you also have to take a video of yourself, just explaining why you want to join the group.
Yeah, you do have to do that now.
And it became really ridiculous the past, 2 years, but there's good reason why.
He's afraid of spies.
He's afraid of spies, and he should be.
Mm-hmm.
Shaking in his fucking boots.
Yeah.
But then you had to join the group. You had to wait for there would be a post that would be made saying that they are taking applicants, and to comment on the post sharing your interest. After you comment on the post, you would create a video explaining why you would be a good candidate for the banner. After that, then you have to you have to have a conversation with Russ and the group admins in order to do like your little pre-interview. And some of the group admins have come forward now, in hindsight, and they've explained sometimes it's 10 minutes long, and they said there were tons of people that would express interest, but when the shit got real, they didn't really, they weren't serious. So they would sit down to do like the video call, and they would just act stupid, or just want to ask a bunch of questions, or just be fangirling over the fact that they're talking to Russ McKamey. Yuck.
Because that's a plus.
Right. Real winner there.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, then you would get through that process, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, we'll call you. A couple of days after this, sometimes not even a couple of days, sometimes the next day, miraculously, Russ would have a cancellation, and a spot's opened up for you to come and participate in a McKamey Manor tour.
Because out of 27,000 people waiting list, he doesn't go to the next person in line. He goes to the one he just interviewed.
Yeah. Well, because that's who was available. He already tried to talk to the other 26,999 people, and they were all busy, so they couldn't make it.
Right. Yeah.
It's from the last 24 hours. So he would be like, oh my God, a spot just opened up. You have to, this is your chance. And there's like screenshots that you can see. I mean, it just depends on how deep you get into this. I don't know how easily accessible these are, but I've seen screenshots where Russ is like messaging people, and he's like, hey, can you call me like right now? Like, if you want to do the manor, call me right now so we can get you in here like tomorrow. And this is somebody that's across the fucking country. And they're like, I'm at work and stuff or whatever. Can't just call you. And he's like, well, it's now or never. If you don't do it, then you're disqualified completely. You can't do it at all. So he puts a sense of urgency on it because he claims there is this massive waiting list, and he just liked you so dang much. He wants you to be the next one to participate.
Right. He just liked you so dang much. He can't wait to pull your teeth out.
Shave all your hair off and wade you through the mud. He can't wait to waterboard the shit out of your face.
That's the part. That's the true part he can't wait to do.
He loves that. He really does.
Oh, yeah.
It's his favorite.
Well,
So,
the Navy, the water, that's probably what his kink is water.
right. Yes. What's that called? Does that have a name? Is there like like an
Ooh.
aquaphiliac or something?
There probably is. If it's not a Claire, it's a philiac. Uh,
So anyway, the sense of urgency is definitely part of the smoke and mirrors. Because it doesn't give you the chance to sit and think about it.
it is called aquaphilia.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know my kinks.
Sexual arousal involving water.
So he's an aquaphiliac. Gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sense of urgency, I mean, it is part of it. He is definitely playing a bit, to get you psyched up. So then, like I said, you don't really have time to sit and consider it. You don't really have time to sit and think about the waiver, read the waiver, think about what you're getting ready to sign yourself up for. It's just, are you ready to jump on a plane now and go out there and do this and come home $20,000 richer? So, a lot of people back out. Obviously, they can't just jump on a plane and do it.
Right. Because
You know,
that's not reasonable for anybody.
Right. But there are definitely people that are hardcore, and they are like professional thrill seekers, and they are definitely down, and they're totally going to go there, and they're totally going to do this thing, and they're absolutely going to win the $20,000, right? So they
Right.
do. They jump on the plane, they go there. Before they get there, they are told about certain things that they're going to encounter when they do get there, and it sounds pretty fantastic. It sounds really cool to people that are super into those things, and that's where we're kind of gonna jump forward in time a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna talk about Reckless Ben and Danny Berk.
They're beast.
Aren't they amazing?
Yes.
Trying to explain it to people, I'm just like, just go watch it, just check it out.
You have to watch it because it's like unbelievable unless you see it.
They're fucking superhuman. I love them.
Right.
And so proud, fucking Ben is from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Really?
Of course he is. Who else is that
would
crazy?
start this shit?
Right. Who else is that fucking nuts besides somebody from
Right.
Ohio? Come on. So, Reckless Ben specifically is, I've talked about him a little bit on the show before because I'm so impressed by him. All of his other series are great, but I found him because of McKamey Manor.
Well, now I have to watch his other series because McKamey Manor was amazing.
Yeah, he takes on Scientology. I mean, multiple cults. He does. Anyway.
Right.
Reckless Ben, he has a YouTube channel. It's titled Reckless Ben. Go watch it. He is an investigative journalist with a twist. I talked all about it during the one How Was Your Weekend segment, because his most recent thing that he did that I watched was he attempted to identify Banksy, the artist.
Really?
Yeah. So because his most recent series, he identified Lucifer Valentine, which is a whole other piece of shit person. You guys should definitely check those out. But he did a series where he's still active. He's still actively trying to find Banksy. But that's his newest endeavor. And so what he does is he finds out how to get into like the local artist scene and how to become a really big artist, because if he's going to find Banksy, he himself has to be famous to do so.
Right.
And he does this by creating the world's largest graffiti art. And the idea was that they're going to put the world's largest penis graffiti on a massive building that's in California. And this building is abandoned, and a lot of people are graffitiing it, but he finds it, and it's huge, and he's like, great, that would be perfect. But how are we going to paint it on the whole building? Well, he decides to paint it on three giant tarps, and they're going to hang that tarp up. And it's going to be a big viral stunt. Well, this goes off the fucking rails, and they actually get chased by the police numerous times. I think he actually went to jail at one point for it. A lot of them did. It's crazy. This kid's nuts, okay?
Oh, yeah.
He will go to the craziest lengths that you've seen. There is not any investigative journalist like him. This is like fucking what's his name? Alex Jones going into Bohemian Grove type shit. Like,
Yeah. And he's like a hardcore adrenaline junkie. Like, he'll do anything. So, like, getting to the bottom of a story is like nothing, probably.
no, he tightrope. He did a tightrope walk across the building, that abandoned building, with no harness or anything, and that became viral and like went on the news. I mean, because he's nuts, he'll do it. He does it.
Right.
So he finds out about McKamey Manor and is like, well, I'm going to win the $20,000, obviously.
Right.
No big deal.
Why wouldn't I?
And he goes to check it out. Really, what he's doing is he is investigating the situation, because at this time it has been, it's been years of this back and forth of what's real, what's not, what's legit with McKamey Manor. Is there a $20,000 prize? And if there is, he's definitely going to be the one to get it.
Oh, yeah.
So, he applies to be a participant on the tour, immediately gets contacted, which he thought was like super cool and impressive. Maybe
like
it's
20 minutes.
Yeah. Like immediately.
Like still in the same clothes and everything. Like
they immediately reach out to him and they want him to come on the tour, and he's like, great. And he has this conversation with Russ about what to expect at the manor. Russ promises him that there is a 200-yard underwater haunted house that he would have to swim through in order to even get to the manor. And that sounds super exciting. He promises a 2-mile-long zip line on the property.
yes.
And he promised, he basically, what he calls it, he says it's an Indiana Jones ride on steroids. Those are words out of Russ's mouth.
That is my favorite quote.
Well, because some of the shit he was talking about, that's what it definitely sounds like.
Exactly. Like that's, yeah. It's something out of a freaking Vin Diesel movie or something. Like
something you'll never experience, right? Anywhere else. So Ben shows up, he gets there, and what he ended up doing
in
was,
his duck onesie.
Yeah, he was in his dumb onesie. Shows up. First, though, what he does before he even gets there, he gets the waiver to sign. The waiver is also an NDA, and that's another big thing about this and why people don't talk about it.
Right. And he got it before he even went.
He did. Yeah, he did. And I think that's just because the desperation of Russ
needing people.
Yeah,
right.
Needing people. So he gets a copy of the NDA to sign before he goes there, and there is a clause in it that says that if you talk about what you experience at the manor, Russ will sue you for $50,000. Okay. Out of everything in this waiver, that's probably the only real thing. NDAs are very real.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be held accountable to them. And most of the time, any judge that's worth a damn, they're going to go ahead and fulfill that. I mean, you agreed to it. It's whatever. Right. It's pretty much an open and shut case. So he gets a copy of the NDA before he takes any step further. He types it up on his own computer and changes some things.
Genius.
Specifically, what he changes is the $50,000, suing situation if he were to talk about it. Instead, he changes it to he will have to pay Russ $1 if he breaks that NDA. So that way he could report on his experiences going forward now, and this way he could make this series and get it out to all of us.
Yeah. He's a genius.
Fucking genius, for real. He's so goofy, and you're like, oh god, it's gonna be one of those, fucking Gen Alpha kids, but like, no. Like,
right,
this kid,
he literally looks like a skateboard punk.
Yeah.
But he's so smart.
Yeah, he's fucking legit, like, for real. So he does. And of course, Russ signs it too. They all sign it.
Because why would he have to look over his own paperwork?
Exactly. He did not think about this at all.
No.
So he gets to the manor, and what happens when he gets there? Well, he rolls around on the lawn for a long time with a 100-pound barrel strapped to his back. They have him.
He did it with that, what was it, the 40-pound bag of dog food he brought?
He brought the 40-pound bag of dog food, and they had him like crab walking through the yard with it and doing a bunch of exercises.
Yeah. But that was too light, so they went to the 100-pound barrel.
They pull out the 100-pound barrel, and he's doing exercises with a giant tire, which is, I mean, that's a lot.
Oh yeah, but he is a professional athlete, so he's good for a while.
He's good for a while. They paint his face. You know, they have like all kinds of paints that he had to go buy at Walmart. Oh yeah, that's right. Right before he goes to the manor, he's told to go to Walmart and buy some things. And he's told to go to a Walmart like outside of town, but he
30
doesn't.
minutes away, yeah.
He goes to the one that's there, and come to find out, Russ McKamey works at that Walmart. So, you know, he goes and gets all this stuff, and it's arts and crafts time.
Once you figure that out and you're one of those girls that fangirled over him, you probably feel like an idiot.
Fucking Walmart. In the plant section. Even like specifically the little greenhouse area of Walmart.
So he's just seasonal.
No, he does work there full time,
right?
I think now. I hope, but yeah, I he's not even good enough to be a full time employee. So you know they're doing stuff like that. They're putting clothespins on him all over the place
And glitter,
right? They start the waterboarding. That starts up.
Mm-hmm.
And you know they're just spraying a hose in his face a lot. And you know they have him crawling around these little like troughs that they've dug around the property. Meanwhile he's wearing those upside down glasses that make everything upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Or they've got his eyes covered or whatever. I mean, they're obstructing his view, from the property itself. I believe he also had to meet them. I don't think he drove to the manor. I think you have to meet him somewhere, and then they drive you out to the manor.
Yeah, because when he arrived to Russ, he was in the back of a van.
Yeah, so they come and pick you up. And Russ is there with one other old gentleman.
Yeah, I think his name was Sid, maybe, or Cy, one of them.
Yep, Cecil.
Cecil?
His name's Cecil, yep. And so it's just Russ and old Cecil, and they're just having him do all these exercises. Well,
definitely a homegrown Tennessee boy, Cecil was.
Ben starts to complain a little bit about, with all the exercising, this isn't what I thought it was. And they're just like, well, you're not there. Like, we're not at the manor yet. You have to pass all this to get to the manor. And he's like, okay, but can you like take it up a notch a little bit? And they're like, okay, yeah, sure. Well, then they put him in a straitjacket.
Mm-hmm.
And put him into like a hole, it looks like.
Yeah, a tunnel, they called it.
And they start waterboarding him there. A shit ton. They put his head in like the glass case and start filling it. Oh yeah,
this was before the tunnel. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's all kinds of stuff that they're doing. That is getting increasingly
worse.
Worse. They do take him into a barn, and they do seem to inject him with drugs and put a drill in his mouth and run a chainsaw by his face. But something that you learn, and this is big because we talked about how they were doing all this shit back in the 2010s, right?
Right.
The needle's not real. It's retractable. The cutting open your skin, that's a prop. It's not real. The chainsaw, the drill, also props.
Probably not real, yeah.
They have no chains on them. There's no mechanism that can actually hurt you. This got interesting because, when people kind of realized that those parts were fake, then they find out like the teeth pulling. They would take a pair of pliers and, put them in your mouth, but they would have fake prop teeth that they pulled out. So that was never real. So maybe it is all smoke and mirrors, It's kind of where this starts to fall apart. Well, eventually, they tell him that they can put him in this tunnel and he could crawl to the manor. It's through like this maze. This is where where the underwater swim is supposed to happen. I'm not really sure.
I was kind of confused on that too, because obviously there's no water in it, and they're not going to make him do that in a straitjacket because that would just kill him. So
they were trying to make him do it in a straitjacket, but
the swim?
Well, in that tunnel, he was
in the tunnel. Yeah, but the tunnel didn't have water in it.
No, it didn't. But I think it was supposed to lead to the water that led to the manor.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. It's not real.
Right.
But
He doesn't have 200 yards of land right there. That's what we're saying.
He doesn't. So, but they put him, with the barrel on his back still, and he can't crawl through this space.
Right.
And tells them that, like, I cannot do it. And they're like, okay, we're going to, pull you out. We'll figure. And they're like, maybe we're not going to do this. Maybe you should just give up. That's not how he talks to you, though. He's like, oh, yeah, you should give up. You can't do this. This is too hard. So hard. Very hard. He doesn't say that, but he probably does sometimes.
He probably does. He wasn't a very good man of words.
No.
He did not articulate well.
No, it's not very good at it. But they start to get to the point where they're trying to figure out other ways to basically get Ben into the manor, and he's right there. Right before he's supposed to go to the manor, the camera battery is dying. Cecil announces
on the phone.
Yeah. And so Russ calls it then. Oh, sorry, can't do the manor. The battery's died.
Yep.
And
Takes
Ben's
him out of whatever torture device he was in and was like, okay, go home.
Yeah, go home. So Ben does, and he's feeling some type of way because none of the shit that he told happened. They told was going to happen happened. He was very disappointed. And so he's like, well, what's this about? He's like, in all fairness, my body did give up with all the exercises. Like, I was not able to do that. The things that they're asking you to do in the boot camp section, it's damn near impossible. What do we do now? So Ben thinks about it and he goes, well, I got this cool friend, Danny. Yeah. And Danny, if you think Ben is a badass, you've never met Danny Berk. And, this guy is fucking extreme, all the way to the extreme. He actually had like 3rd-degree burns over like 90% of his body, something crazy like that. And, has survived that.
Yeah.
They always talk about the bullet ant stings that he endured. That's a big one. And when he does the bullet ant stings, he puts on fucking gloves with bullet ants in them, and he's dancing around smiling about it.
Just laughing the whole time.
Like, he's insane. I don't think he feels pain.
Right.
So Ben's like, okay, I couldn't do it, but Danny definitely is going to do it. So they have Danny go and apply for the manor. And at this point in time, Russ thinks that him and Ben are still cool, right? He's not really on to Ben yet. And Ben's like, yeah, we're cool. It's fine. Well, before they go into the manor, they get the waiver and they change it again.
But better.
But better. So is this one where he had to eat the pizza with them? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This was the pizza. So now they've changed it. Of course, they've done the $1 NDA clause.
Right.
And then they've added something to it that it doesn't end until Russ shares pizza with them, eats a slice of pizza with them.
Because in the first one, when Ben signed it, it was Russ is going to take you out to pizza after the end of the tour. But when Ben asked him, okay, pizza time, Russ is like, nah, I'm not really feeling pizza tonight. Maybe we'll meet up some other time. And he got pissed because he's like, no, I want pizza.
I want to have pizza with you. Yeah. So he works the pizza clause in there. Danny goes, he's doing the same exact shit that we all just saw Ben doing. It's just exercises in the yard. And Danny is like, starts questioning Russ because all the while all this is happening, Ben and Danny are also interviewing a ton of people that are involved with the manor.
Right.
And, they're finding out that you can't question Russ at all. It is all bad for you if you do.
It's the one thing that makes him so mad.
Yeah. You can't question him. And you can't act like you like what's happening. That's another thing. If you are not in extreme pain and terrified, Russ is not happy.
It destroys his kink completely.
Because the claim that they're all saying is that the whole reason the manor exists is to fulfill a kink, basically, that Russ has.
From torturing people.
And, they also interview, it's interesting, they interviewed like sex workers, like dominatrixes and stuff. And they confirm, some of the things that, he does to people, as being very kink adjacent. And it is. I mean, Doesn't take an expert to know. So they're kind of also, doing their homework. But of course, Danny applies. He gets in right away, right? He's picked out of the 27,000 people waiting list. It's amazing. And he gets chosen. And he goes out there and he's doing the exercises. But he stops and he's like, when are we going to do the fun stuff?
Right.
Like one thing specifically that they seem to center on was in the waiver, it mentions that you could have your head placed in like a wasp nest.
Yeah.
And Danny's like, that's what I want to do.
He's like, that's the fun stuff.
Right. That's my thing. I'm known for doing shit like that. Let's do that. And so during this live stream, and it is live, he stops and he's like, hey, Russ, when are we going to do the thing? And Russ is like, well, but you're not there yet. You have to pass this part first. And he's like, well, but no. He's like, I think that like your viewers would probably rather see me get stung by wasps than see me work out in your yard. And he's like, no, you haven't proven yourself. And Danny just keeps pushing. And he's like, okay, well, he's like, okay, maybe not the wasp. He's like, what if you got hot sauce and put it in my butthole?
And he said, what if you just pepper spray me in the eyes right now? And Cecil's like, I don't want to do that to you.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, then put hot sauce in my eyes. I don't know. The hot sauce on the butthole is just, I love that. I love that he suggested that. But he's like, come on, I want to get stung by wasp. I want to do this. What about, and he's like, but what about and he calls him out. What about the 200-yard swim? Like, your property is not even big enough to have 200 yards on it. Like, and Russ just is like, really fucking dumbfounded. I don't think anybody's ever challenged him like this before.
No one's probably ever done the research like they've done before to look at the property from a Google map and be like, no way.
Right. It's not possible. And, they confront him about the zip line because the longest zip line in the world at that point in time was like 1.7 miles. So
I think it was just a mile. It was 0.7 miles.
Oh, okay.
But they called it a mile.
But it wasn't 2 miles.
No, not even
had
close.
a 2-mile long zip line. That's not possible because it's never been done. And he would have to have approval to have that in the first place.
And then they mentioned that to Kelly, and she's just like, yeah.
Okay, and but we'll get there. So, they do all this and eventually, he screams at them, or they start screaming at him yet to leave, but he's like, okay, we're done. We're not doing this. Like, he's like, he's saying, Danny, something's wrong with your head. Like, you're not mentally sound if you're asking me to put hot sauce in your butthole, right? And pepper spray you and all that. And Danny's like,
you want to get hurt, and that's what the manor's not about.
Right. Yeah, we don't want to hurt you here. We don't do that here. We don't hurt people. And so eventually, they're going to leave and they call him out on the pizza. And, Ben's like, okay, time to get pizza again. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm just feeling some type of way. I need to just not get pizza. And they're like, well, legally, you have to. You have to get pizza. And he's like, no, I don't, and they're like, okay. So they do. They leave.
Right. And he breached his own contract.
He breached his own contract. So then at that point, they released one of the episodes for this that they were doing on YouTube. And
yeah, because I think they said something about they wanted him to get the $20,000 because he technically never quit the mansion. Russ quit the mansion.
Right. Yeah, he won. Right.
Right.
And I mean, they quit it. Russ quit it too with Ben, but Ben was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because Ben was struggling to keep up with the physical part of it.
Right.
But, rightfully so, Danny did not quit. And so he should have $20,000.
Right.
So they start putting this out there on YouTube and the moderators for Russ's group are pissed the fuck off. And they start, trying to come at Ben. And they're like, well, we're going to sue the fuck out of you. You can't do this. You can't talk about McKamey Manor in public. And he's like, I can. And I am doing it because I already paid Russ his $1. We both did. And just, I'm not going to give the whole entire thing away. But basically, where it goes from here, just to be an asshole, they start trolling the fuck out of these people. So Ben realizes
They
that
did to them what Russ does to everybody else that talks about the mansion.
Yeah,
Like
they do.
100% deserved it fully.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben realizes that there is no ownership of McKamey Manor as far as LLC or copyright goes, so they can't sue him because
Right.
they don't
They
even
never
own.
renewed it in 2015.
He doesn't even own the name. So what does Ben do? He buys it.
Yep.
He buys the LLC to McKamey Manor. And then it just goes off the rails from there. They send in another fucking mole. And, it gets weird at that point. They send in this guy Jackson, and then at the end of it, when it eventually ends, because it's going to end, because Russ is never going to let anybody go through the manor. And Jackson is he's not phased whatsoever. Like at one point, like Russ makes Jackson beg for the baby tour, the quote unquote baby tour.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Jackson's like, I'm not going to, like, I'm good. And he's like, well, if you don't beg for the baby tour, then we're just going to stop. And he's like, okay, whatever. So, I mean, he's going to make him quit because that's what he does. And so Ben actually signs up to become an Uber driver for that town of less than 800 people population. So then when it's time for Jackson to leave, guess who shows up at the manor? It's Ben. And
He's
then guess
probably
who
the
shows up?
only Uber driver in town.
And then guess who shows up as a DoorDasher with pizza? It's Danny. Danny's like, oh, hey, Russ, I just moved to the area. Then they send in a fourth fucking guy, and who we had never met. And it gets off the rails at that point. And they're just trolling the fuck out of him now.
Right.
But again, they're still doing very real investigative work. And Ben points this out, and that a lot of it seems very silly, and it is. It's good fun. I love it.
Right.
But there's
a lot of stuff. Like, it's hilarious that
there's
they
a lot
do.
of stuff. Yeah, and you got to check all that out. It is a lot of fun. And then they do it again, and then they've got this thing where they're just going to continue to send in moles, and they keep accepting the moles, and
because there's no waiting list.
Nobody wants to go, right? And so they're proving that there's no waiting list. I mean, they're just breaking apart all of the fables that have been out there about this place. But in the meantime, they are talking to very real people. One of the groups of people that they talk to are people that Russ had kind of had a partnership with when he came to Summertown, a group known as Catus Silvis, which is another extreme haunt. And in this group of people, they, of course, Russ McKamey, he was the king, right? So they kind of aspired to be like him in a way. So they all kind of started working together, right? And those became his new actors.
There was 4 of them?
Yeah, I think there was more than that at one point, because I know some of the other people. Because listen, when I tell you guys, the people that are involved in all this are so fucking many, with their own little storylines and tangents and lore and bullshit and drama, and it's crazy. There's a lot to this.
A lot.
But the people that they interview, I think there is 4 of them.
Okay.
One of the guys that they interview, his name is Rhett, and they stopped working with Russ because Rhett, it was his turn to go through the manor. Again, eventually it got to the point to where they would make all of them go through the manor, basically all the actors. It was some type of rite of passage. But he would dress it up like, you're going to go through the manor, but it's just for B-roll. So we can make a little promo in order to, get people to come to the manor. So you're going to act, and it's all acting, and it's no big deal. We're not really going to do anything bad. It's going to be
You're
fine.
going to do the baby tour. It's okay.
Yeah. So they take Rhett, he signs his waiver, and it's not great. But something, again, very big happens in this situation. And what they do is they have a chain hooked up to a truck, and they have Rhett hang on to this chain, and they drag him with the truck.
Yeah, he was blindfolded, earmuffed, and handcuffed to the chain.
Yeah. Russ is actually talking to him through a walkie-talkie that they have underneath the earmuff so that he could still hear him. And so, well, he wasn't tied to the chain. He was hanging on to it. But here's the thing about the chain. You can realistically, like you could let go, but not really, because it's wrapped around your arm. So once that
Right.
truck starts moving, you can't let it go. It's
Mhm.
tightened around your shit. You may as well be chained to it. You know?
Right. You might as well be handcuffed to it, I guess.
You can't stop it at that point. So they start dragging him, and at first they're going through a bunch of grass, and eventually they get off the grass and they start dragging him through straight up fucking gravel. Now, Rhett is wearing a tank top and jeans. He's not wearing a helmet. He's not wearing any type of protective covering whatsoever. He's
Mhm.
just wearing regular, everyday fucking clothes. And we know this now because this footage, which at the time was not available, thanks to Ben and Danny, is available online for you to see.
Yeah.
Because Russ records it all. So they drag him with this truck. Eventually, they do stop dragging him with the truck, and he is fucked all the way up. Like, they
Yeah.
just drug him on gravel behind a truck, and his skin is gone from his arms, his torso, his legs,
Pretty
you
much
know,
his whole body because he had nothing covering anything.
the whole front of his body.
Yeah.
And he does not give up, because you don't give up at McKamey Manor at all cost. And so Russ then takes him over to a deep freezer situation and dunks him into, there's filled with this gross fucking water, and dunks him with his open wounds into the water. Repeatedly dunks him under the water, holds him down there, pulls him out. And then, eventually the tour kind of stops there. Now, Rhett had made mention of none of the other baby stuff. Even though he said it was the baby tour, they
Right.
jumped straight to dragging him on that truck.
Like there was nothing else. Like that's
That
welcome.
was the goal, to drag him on that truck and then go and dunk him in dirty ass water.
Yeah.
Obviously, this did not go well. Rhett ended up in the hospital. He was bedridden in the hospital for 2 weeks.
As you would think, surprised it wasn't longer than that.
He definitely could have died. He got very
Right.
lucky.
Oh yeah.
Very lucky.
Especially from not getting something from infections after dunking your open wounds into that water. Ugh.
That gross ass fucking water. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the after that happened, Kata Silvis was like, "We're out. We're done." But he recorded the whole thing, and of course, Ben and Danny are like, "Well, why didn't you go to the police?" And he's like, "Well, first of all, because Russ will send his fucking army after you, and second of all, I don't have the proof that this happened. Russ does. Right. If I could only get that video, then I can prove that this happened." So then it comes out that there was somebody somewhere had stolen one of Russ's hard drives with all of his videos on it. And like we had talked about before, you only see what he wants you to see publicly. There's a lot of stuff that you have not seen. A lot of stuff the victims haven't seen. And so...
literally, because they're blindfolded through most of it.
Yeah.
So they felt it, they were there, but they have no clue what actually was going on.
Yeah, no idea. So Ben and Danny, they end up going on the search for this hard drive, and everybody's like, "You're not going to find it. You're not going to get it. You can't take down Russ McKamey and his manor. You can't do it." And they go through a series of individuals who have gotten so close. But then the army comes in. The army comes in and they do what they do. They threaten your life. They dox you. They threaten your family. I mean, some people had, custody of their kids taken away. People have lost their jobs. They can't hold a job after that point. I mean, it's bad, y'all. It's real bad.
Right. Just adult bullying, ruining people's lives.
Straight up adult bullying. That's what it is. And, but you know what? Ben and Danny, they don't have none of that. Their jobs are YouTubers and they don't got kids and they're fine. So they find it. Eventually, long story short, they do find the hard drive and they do release this video of Rhett to the public. And then some other videos of other people, not many of them. But for the most part, they are good, decent people. And they said there's a lot of stuff on there that nobody's ever going to see that they've given to the victims. And it's now theirs to do with what they're going to do with it. They also file a formal complaint to the Tennessee Attorney General's office. mostly banking off the fact that there's a lot of code violations that Russ has for being somebody that runs something like a haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
And the attorney general takes him up on it and then starts investigating it. So they have pretty much released what they could over to the attorney generals, and this has become a bigger thing, which, unfortunately they can't talk about too much, for the sake of compromising the investigation. But the state of all that right now is, so far, no charges related to any of that have been brought to Russ, but it is still an active and open investigation. And there is probably more shit to come that's worse than we could even imagine. Or maybe not. Maybe it's right what we imagined.
And you'd have to hope something comes out of this, especially with the hard drive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's probably got all kinds of shit. Because that's the most insane thing about it, is that why isn't he being charged with anything if he really is out there torturing people? Well, for one, he doesn't torture everybody. When he seems to torture people, it seems to be really personal.
But still, that's a person.
It is. It's still a person. But the thing is that then when it's really personal, when he turns against you and gets everybody to gang up on you and bully you, it makes those people afraid to continue to speak out about it. Look what happened to Laura Brotherton.
Yeah. Now, was she the one that he tortured about the hard drive, or was that somebody else?
That was a girl named Marissa.
Okay.
Yep. He convinced her. He pretty much did to her what he did to Rhett. Hey, we're just going to make a fake video. You're going to do a baby tour, and it will be what it is. But what's interesting, so, it ends up getting hardcore, and he's interrogating her about this missing hard drive. What's interesting about that is her video is on the missing hard drive. So there's more than there's got to be more than one hard drive.
Oh, yeah.
There has to be, if her video is on the alleged missing hard drive.
Right.
But he ropes her in the guise of making a promotional video, and tortures her, and gets this hard, and he's like hitting her in the face and shit.
Oh, yeah. She's got a ton of videos out there, too, just effing Russ up and down the street.
Yeah.
She'll come out and tell you everything.
Oh, yeah. There's so many people involved, so much stuff. So, yeah, I mean, how aren't charges being brought up? And, one, the NDA.
Yeah, but you would think that could only go so far.
I don't think that these are smart people. And I don't mean to say that, because they are victims, and I feel terrible for them. But, genuinely, I don't think that they understand the power that they have against this man. And I think, not because, I guess I shouldn't say because of their intelligence. Part of it is their intelligence, and, what you don't know, you don't know. And part of it being the brainwashing process that happens in the presence of Russ McKamey and his group. He has them convinced that they have no power against him. They don't have the footage. They've signed a contract stating, that he can do all this to them. I mean, he has definitely made them believe that he is untouchable. He's not.
No, and if you watch the Reckless Ben series, you'll realize that Russ and his crew are not intelligent.
No, they're not. They're really not. And, but because there's so many of them,
and they're so mean.
I had an issue where on Facebook sometimes it will tell you when people like something, right? So it'll be like, oh, Cassie liked this picture. And I'm like, oh, great. Nice picture. There was, and I'm not going to name them, and I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to name them. There was a large Bigfoot-based, we'll just say group.
Okay.
Who Facebook told me liked pictures, and it was a couple of different pictures, and the pictures that they were liking were very racist memes. And I don't mean questionably, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I mean straight up I hate N-words and stuff. It was obviously very racist.
Right, okay.
And I was very upset by this, and I'm like, people should know. People gotta know. What if people knew? Then I took a step back and I thought about it. And their fan base is in the millions, and mine's not. It's
I get it.
going to hurt me to even say something. It's going to put a target on my back.
Well,
to have
especially in the career that you're in.
Right. To have those people come after me. So it didn't do me any good to put that information out there just based on numbers alone. Is that group a piece of shit? Absolutely. Are they bad
Well,
people?
yeah.
Yeah. But
But they're
it
also
doesn't.
not physically hurting anybody while liking a meme, even though it shows what kind of person you are.
Yeah. It wasn't worth my time to fight. So when you're facing that many people, and I've been the target of people with armies, and it's not fun. It's not good. It's very nerve-wracking and it's scary. Getting death threats from people that you don't fucking know attached with your address on it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Um,
that should be a crime right there. How are you going to release somebody's address to people on the internet and tell them to go do bad things to them?
right. It's not a crime until something actually happens. Then it's a crime.
And
It's like
that's bullshit.
domestic abuse, right? I mean, and we'll get into that soon too. But yeah, it is. It's bullshit. Until something happens, it's not a crime. Even like cyberbullying and stuff, they're like, oh, you'll see commercials, PSAs about it. Don't cyberbully, it's a crime. They don't
Right.
really do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do anything. Nothing happens.
Nothing.
So, I mean, it makes sense why these people wouldn't take it a step further. But Ben, he has nothing to lose by going after this guy. So he did full throttle. They went after this guy full throttle. They still are, just in a different way, a quieter way that we can't have access to, or it would ruin the whole thing. So there's
Right.
more to come there. But something major happened last year. So I'm in all these groups. And again, let me go back to it. So many people, so many webs of people. I have been banned, kicked out, blocked, have had to move from multiple McKamey Manor groups in the last couple years.
Really?
Oh my God, the drama is so unreal. And I'm not going to act like these people aren't human and they don't have feelings or whatever, but some of the petty fucking shit that they all fight over is ridiculous.
I believe it.
Like,
Is it any of those hater groups?
yeah, it's all the hater groups. They all fight each other, and that's another issue with these people, is they all can't even get along together. Like, you have a common goal to take this fucking guy down. You need to stop and focus on that.
But there was obviously something wrong with you to even sign that waiver and go in the first place, so they're not all sound people.
They're not, and that's what it comes down to. So they can't ever get together in a group and take this guy down because they can't fucking keep themselves in check long enough. Because let me tell you, it's like I'll be in, two groups, and because I'm in this one and the moderator of that group hates the moderator of that group, they'll ban me from their group.
Oh yeah.
Just because I'm in it. And it's like, okay. I mean, it's a shit show and I love it. I'm not gonna lie, I do.
Right.
But I've kept up. I've kept up in a lot of the groups because the attorney general thing is going on, and I wanted to know what's going to happen. And Ben and Danny used to be in all these groups. They're not in any of them anymore because, again, it's a shit show. They've left them all.
I believe it. They're fighting their own war, and they're the only ones doing anything about it. So why be a part of these groups?
Yeah. So, but some of them I've been in, and the one I've been in for quite a long time. And that is, it's called McKamey Manor Horror Road Trip.
Okay.
It is ran by, you probably saw some of them in their videos if you watched them, by a guy named Chris Smith and Brandon Vance.
Okay.
And so Brandon Vance has taken on the manor before, and he was wrongfully pulled out. And then Chris Smith used to be one of Russ's, he's done the manor too, but he was one of Russ's actors.
Okay.
And so now they're trying to take the manor down. They were talking about this new girl that Russ had gotten involved with. So Russ became pretty fucking quiet after the situation with Ben and Danny happens. Not just that, Hulu had also then released a new McKamey Manor documentary, and had exposed other shit about him. And so life wasn't good for him. And he kind of stepped.
The Hulu one was directed by the same guy that did the Netflix Haunters in 2018.
I did not realize that, but that is
so
important.
What happened was, actually, Ben talks about it in the videos. he did like Russ is the Best Thing in the World on Netflix, and this turned around to be like a hit movie on Russ, and he was in the running to try to find the hard drive too, and offering people that he thought had it all kinds of ridiculous money, but he was being a little bitch like everybody else and wouldn't stop pestering him, so people got tired of him.
Just like, go away.
Right.
Good for Ben and Danny. I'm so proud of them for being the ones.
Right. So it's like the complete opposite take on Russ McKamey in the Hulu version than it was in the Netflix version.
Yeah. And I watched it, and it was, it was a mess. So, one of the guys that's featured on the Hulu one is this guy named Justin, the Wolf, as they call him. The Wolf took on the manor, and he was wrongfully, he basically, same situation with Ben and Danny shows up. It was not what he was told it was, and it pissed him right the fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
So he made it his life's mission to take down the manor. And so he's done all kinds of shit. He has his own Facebook group, McKamey Manor Exposed, and it was heavily featured in the Netflix or the Hulu documentary.
Yeah.
On that documentary, he admits to hacking Russ's email. Yeah.
I haven't watched the Hulu documentary yet because I don't have Hulu, but I do know Justin and about his page.
He has me blocked.
Oh my god!
Because Justin's a piece of shit too. Again, a bunch of people, and all, but I'm blocked because I'm in the road trip group, and you can't be in the road trip group and be in Justin's group because petty bullshit.
Right. That's why there's two different groups.
Yeah. Him hacking Russ's email is big because, of course, did he find shit out? Yeah, of course he did. But it's big because he admitted to it on camera, and then Russ is now suing Justin.
Of course.
As a matter of fact,
an idiot.
he actually just won that lawsuit. Russ did. And it has not been determined yet what Justin has to pay out to Russ McKamey, but Russ did win it.
It's probably $50,000.
I hope so. I hope it's a pizza dinner.
Right?
Ben would be so pissed off. But that's also happening in Russ's life in the past 2 years since, post Ben and Danny. And so he meets this girl, and she's something. Her name's Shay. She's 25 years old. Russ is like 62.
Wow.
Okay. And they meet each other, and like a month later, she goes and moves in with him at his Tennessee property. And shit is not good. Obviously, it's not good. But he starts abusing the fuck out of her.
That's weird. He seems like such a good guy.
Such a nice guy, right? Such a prize. But he does. He starts abusing the fuck out of her. Some of her allegations are, he frequently chokes her out. Like, that's a very common occurrence to the point of her passing out and seizing. He throws stuff at her, hits her with objects, breaks down the door to come talk to her and argue with her. And there's tons of abuse going on. And eventually it gets to the point to where she gets the police involved, and Russ goes to jail for domestic violence.
Finally.
He goes to jail for domestic violence. Eventually, he makes bail, but as the police kind of investigated a little bit further, they rearrest him and start to charge him with attempted murder.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was straight up rape, not even just sexual assault, but straight up rape. And other charges. But this is where things get weird somehow, some way, and I don't understand this one bit. Those charges all get dropped. And I don't
know.
I am somebody who I'm a domestic abuse survivor, and the police refuse to help me.
Mm-hmm.
My dad tried to kill my mom, and when the police showed up, he tried to kill her because she used her money that she worked for to go pay rent. He wanted it to buy drugs, so he tried to kill her. And when the police showed up, they said, well, why don't you just give him the money, and then I'll stop trying to kill you.
Seriously? Wow.
Yep. After
Wow.
yeah, after my own experience with domestic violence, I became a domestic abuse victims advocate in my area. And this shit happens a lot. A lot. My own abuser has now abused and been arrested for abusing 4 different women and has only ever received probation for doing
Hmm.
so. This is an issue that we have countrywide. So it pisses me the fuck off that Russ McKamey walked away from this, but not just because he's Russ McKamey, but because there's a fucking problem in this country with
Oh,
that.
yeah.
We need to quit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he gets away with it. I would love to say that I'm surprised, and I should be shocked and surprised, but I'm not because it happens all the time. And he, ever since then, has really seemed to kind of lay low, especially he still has this ongoing attorney general case. He still has the ongoing lawsuit with Justin. He tried to sue Hulu too for the documentary, but was unsuccessful there. They did throw out the Hulu part, but they kept Justin. Which fuck that guy too. He sucks.
Well, yeah, but just throw out the big dogs that can afford it. And
Yeah, right. But as far as we know, the last person to have ever gone through McKamey Manor officially was Nathan, who was part of Ben and Danny's crew.
hmm
Nobody's been in the manor since. Russ does claim to still do tours, but there's no proof of it. Super out of character for him not to live stream it, if there is. Nowadays, he seems to spend his time at a local bar there in Summertown, Tennessee, singing karaoke. And
he's a
telling
good
people that
singer,
he's
I
Russ.
guess. I heard a couple videos of him wedding singing.
Was he good singing?
Yeah, he was
he
a good
good?
wedding singer. I don't know about karaoke style, but wedding singing, he was definitely good at wedding singing.
So, what did we learn? It's a lot. I know it's been a lot. I know. This almost needed to be a 2-parter episode because there's just still so much more. But what did we learn about all this? What we learned is that nowadays there is no manor. It does not exist.
Not
It
at all.
did at one point exist in the form of a haunted house. And it probably did exist even in the form of an extreme haunt. It's just that you were never going to make it through it.
And it wasn't a manor. Like, there was never a full manor.
Like a full house? Yeah, no.
Right.
But people call their haunted houses stupid bullshit all the time. So, I mean, I just chalked it up to that.
Right. I just
No.
thought you're that famous and you literally have tarps and plywood hooked up to the side of your house and call it a manor.
He
Like,
has nothing to show for it. He's that
Mhm.
famous. And the guy works at fucking Walmart, which I think he still does. I don't know, but I think he does.
I mean, at least he's got a job.
Yeah. I know somebody who went to, so when he first moved to Tennessee and he still had people around, he would have like big events, like he had a big like cookout every year.
hmm
And I know somebody who attended one of he attended the cookout.
You can
It was
just go
normal.
or you don't have to be invited.
Yeah, if you know about it, you can just go. Yeah, so it was a big thing. It was huge, and he has a video from it. It's huge. There's tons of people there. But yeah, I mean, he used to really have it all, and now he has nothing, and that's exactly what he deserves.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Now he needs nothing in a jail cell.
But did he torture people? Yes, he did. Is he doing that now? Kind of, but not really in the same way. He would.
He's
if he
not
could.
doing it to someone who signs up for it. He's doing it to his girlfriends now.
Right, now he's doing it to his girlfriends. Now he's just having people come and do exercises in his yard so he
Right.
can live stream it to his couple thousand followers just so he could stroke his ego.
I wonder if he makes his girlfriends sign a waiver.
There's a lot of shit about the girlfriends. I mean, we really, again, a 2-3-parter episode. I mean, there are allegations of, like, Holly. Holly has talked a lot about it. She's one of his exes, and you could find videos of her. I mean, some of the
Yeah.
shit she said would happen, like, he would, like, chew food up and make her eat it from his mouth and shit.
Just a freak, man. He's just
It's
freak.
fucking gross. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's so deep. I mean, I've never heard anybody say anything good about the guy except for he used to donate all that dog food to the Greyhound Rescue in San Diego 20 years ago.
Yeah, even all of his Facebook people, like they've turned on him. Like,
Yeah, all of them
yeah.
have turned on him at this point. I mean, there's still some people. Very few. You can go, Russ McKamey's Facebook page is free and clear and open. You can go at him if you want to. There are still some people that still believe in the manor, still believe that he's not a bad guy. And none of that seems to be, as we know today, true. So again, is there a manor? Well, no, not really. There's definitely not one now. Now it's absolutely a scam. It's 100% false advertising.
There
There's
was
no promise.
never 2 other locations.
No. As far as we know, there's never been proof of that. The police have even said in Huntsville said we know nothing about another location here.
He didn't own any land or anything, so
No. He doesn't have the money to. Works at Walmart.
Right.
Not that I'm knocking anybody that works at Walmart. It's a job, but I'm just saying.
And all of this was done like nonprofit. Like he didn't make a dime off of any of these people.
No. Well, he probably did through like YouTube and
that way, but like it was free of charge. Like as long as you got yourself to the manor, like that's the only thing you had to pay for.
Yeah. Well, this was never, I mean, this was always for Russ. Always.
Yeah.
For him to seek that validation and attention that he so desperately wanted, and for him to live out his deepest, darkest fantasies.
Somewhere inside of him, like, he's a smart guy. It does not come off that he is a smart guy when he talks. Like, if you can avoid, like, the law and all these charges for so long, for so many times, like, you're doing something.
My favorite part in the Ben and Danny investigation is after the Jackson, after it happens with Jackson, where he shows up as the Uber driver, and then the DoorDasher, and it gets ridiculous. He's on live talking to his fans, and he's like, I think that Jackson guy was in on it. He's like, just now realizing.
Wow.
And he says it like 4 times. He's like, do you guys think that? Do you think he was in on it? Because he's fucking dumb.
Yeah. Like, how? How are you getting away with this?
Because he preys on people like him. People that are manipulators. Master manipulators don't take on a challenge. They prey on people that are just like them. That's why he does these interviews. Because he wants a second to talk to you, to see... I just made a whole Facebook post about this. To see if your insecurities matches his insecurities. Because if and when they do. And that's the part that makes them really bad people. All of us have insecurities about something. And do we need to face our shit? Absolutely we do. How many of us do, though? Let's be real. A lot of us don't. It's hard to face your own shit and work that shit out. But what separates you from being a piece of shit is that Russ knows his insecurities, and he uses that to his advantage. Instead of working through them, he weaponizes them. And that's where the line is. You're not a bad person for putting off doing that work. You should do the work. It is your responsibility. And trust me, you'll be a lot happier when you do. But you're not necessarily a bad person. You're a struggling person. And that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Russell's not struggling with it. He's
a bad person.
Right. He's mastered that shit. He's a bad person. So, I mean, that's how he gets away with it. If you've got enough people, I mean, fucking red or blue, whatever side of the spectrum you're on, look at the fucking state of this country right now. And that's a product of preying off of the right people. Off of the right insecurities. Off of the right triggers. I mean, there's a huge amount of people in this world that do that, and they're successful at it. And, you just get enough people. You don't need a lot of smart people. You just need a lot of people, and you can do almost anything with those numbers.
Yeah. Pretty much anything.
Russ is proof of that. So, Don't fall for it. Inevitably, I'm sure you've read some type of article so far this year. Somebody put something out somewhere. Visit the most extreme haunted house in the world where nobody's ever made it. People have died there. Nobody's ever died there.
No.
People have had the shit beat out of them, and some of them probably were close to death.
Yeah, it's amazing how some of them didn't die.
It is. It is. But none of that's happened. Don't believe a word out of that man's mouth or anybody that, claims that this is real in any sense of the word whatsoever. There are ethical extreme haunts out there. If that's something that you're interested in, it's probably too late in the season now for you to look into them. But there are plenty out there. If that's something you want to plan to do next year for your Halloween season. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't. I don't.
No, I'm not into that. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good, y'all.
Did you watch the Haunters one on Netflix?
I have not. I didn't watch it recently. I watched it, a long time ago.
Okay. So they interviewed this guy who went through, was it called Blackout or another extreme haunted house?
Blackout is one. The 17th Door is another one.
No, it was Blackout that he went through.
Okay.
And I guess there's like an actual like rape scene. And they interviewed him afterwards, and you could tell this guy, like, he's like headed to be on the ID channel one day because this guy was crazy. Like, just the look in his eyes, like when they were interviewing him, like he's gonna do something one day.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Some of these people, they definitely have a lot of it. Again, people don't go through this because they're of sound mind. They do it most of the time because of the trauma that they experience in their life. And this is a way for them to do it without doing it.
Right, exactly.
Whether you're an actor or a participant, something's fucking wrong with you for doing either one. And again, it's okay as long as you work through your shit and consenting adults and all that. But yeah, then I believe you. Well, have I missed anything about McKamey Manor that you wish I had brought up? Or
probably, but I don't know.
Oh my god, probably. This is a long one. Thank you guys for sticking it out with us.
There's a lot on McKamey
There's so
Manor.
much. Yeah, there's so much, and there's a lot of things that I would love to say, but
there's a lot of information about McKamey Manor, but there's also a lot of bullshit that you have to sift through to see if it's even true information.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Believe it or not, what I shared here on this episode is years of me being super into this shit.
Right. And that's like 2.5 hours worth of stuff. Like
years. To get almost 3 hours at this point worth of stuff. It's not easy to sift through and find and get into. But if you're interested, there's definitely resources. Number one, of course, fucking listen, I can't say it enough. If you guys are not watching Reckless Ben, even not just for McKamey Manor, but for his other stuff too, go check that dude out. He is doing shit that nobody else is doing.
Absolutely. Like, I've just watched the McKamey Manor one because you just introduced me to him, but I will go back and watch all of them because it's amazing.
Yeah. And he is like genuinely smart, like for real.
Oh yeah.
He thinks of shit that I would never even think to do, And I like to think that I'm an outside of the box investigator, but I'm not that good. I want to be. I aspire to be as good as Ben. Because it's just amazing. Well, I don't have Ben money either. But either way, go check out his channel. Watch his McKamey Manor series. And that was a whole other thing too. Not even all the videos are available on it. Because because Russ's group would go and report the videos and get them taken down. Ben now mostly has to operate through his Patreon because he's not monetized on YouTube. So he's really not making hardly anything. So, your support would be super encouraged. Go check out Danny Berk too. Him and Danny do a lot of stuff together, but they also do a lot of stuff separately. And they have their own little quirks. But Danny's whole McKamey Manor series is available. Never got taken down. I don't know why. But there's two sides to
He
it.
didn't start his own LLC called McKamey Manor.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a good point. But if you take on the Reckless Ben videos, watch Danny's too, because they're the same. It's the same story, but told from their own perspective. So you get more with each one. There's something to take away from both. So watch both of them. Check out the Facebook groups. Just go join them. Lurk. Don't fucking say anything unless you want those people on you, like white on rice.
And you do not want those people on you, especially if this is just like a for fun thing.
Don't fucking say not anything in those groups, but go join them. It's super interesting. Check out Horror Road Trip. I think they have a website. I believe it's McKamey Manor Road Trip or something. I don't know. Google it. I'll put a link in the description. Whatever. They do a lot. And these are, again, from people who worked for the manor, participated in the manor. Now, Chris Smith is dating Russ's ex-girlfriend, which is a whole nother. That girl's a mess. She needs therapy. And he's old too. And, she's got a weird daddy complex, but she's 25, so she can consent. But they do a lot of homework into this. They have a whole Exposing McKamey Manor series that you can check out on YouTube as well. I don't care about it that much. I prefer shit like Ben because it's also silly and fun, and I like it. So.
Oh, it's definitely entertaining.
Definitely entertaining. Check out Inside McKamey Manor, the podcast, if you're more of a podcast person. With that being said, I know that the regular listeners, you guys are eagerly awaiting the next phase of On Wednesdays We Talk Weird, and I'm going to reveal that to you. Not right now, though. Not right now.
No.
You think the government's bad about edging you about UFOs. Well, you haven't met me yet. I'm going to make that announcement not this next Wednesday. This next Wednesday, I am taking a goddamn break because I deserve one.
Well, yeah, 3 hours of talking straight's a lot.
My voice is going. Yeah, so I'm trying to get through it, and it's leaving me. I've been up since 8 a.m. talking. I've been up earlier than that, but I've been talking since 8 a.m. I'm so tired. But I'll make that announcement. We're going to take a week off. I'll come back with the brand new On Wednesdays We Talk Weird co-host. And from the sounds of it, you guys are not going to be disappointed. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but we'll see. We'll get there. I got 2 weeks to think about it. Fuck.
Oh gosh, don't forget.
I know, I'll be enjoying myself too much. How dare I?
We'll come back in 2 weeks with nobody. It's just you. Well, guys.
It's just me. I'll just make up an imaginary. I'll just do a voice.
You have a sock puppet on one hand.
Hey guys, hey, it's me, the new
Be the real Ed Gein.
And just make up a whole personality. That might be fun, actually.
Right?
I changed my mind. I got things to think about. But yeah, well, I'll make that announcement. Thanks to you guys for, sticking it out with me during this auditioning process. I know you miss Tobias. I miss him too. But you can check him out. He posts an update every Wednesday about what he's doing, about his nerdy not video game talk, but board game talk.
He is so lucky you're not Russ McKamey, because you would have took his ass for copyright if he just posts on Wednesdays.
I know, right? I should have thought about that. Fuck.
Trademark that shit.
He has a 2-income household. He's definitely got more money than me. I might think about that. No, I'm just kidding. Tobias is a gem. Go check out his own little Wednesday talk. It's a lot less than this, right? It's not even 10 minutes. So you can spare that to continue to support him. And I can't say I'll see you guys back here next Wednesday, because I won't. I'll see you guys back here in 2 weeks.